Mute out your screens. Like, oh wait, too bad. It's already happening. We're already live. Well, I mean, hey, the gang's here, so we're still waiting on a few folks to join us, but y'all, wow, everybody was just like legit ready. Okay.
I'm trying to like.
I've been waiting for this.
Social media out right quick.
I know. You're still on that?
Yes, man.
Oh my gosh. See, this is what happens when you go with Pusha T. It takes too long.
Yeah. I don't even do that yet.
You want more treat? Let's take care of butter so that way. What's good, everybody? So tonight is going to be a little bit different. So we're going to actually be a little bit more conversational this evening. Clearly, since we brought a few people to the party with us, we got the wonderful Lillie in the building.
Hello.
We also have Dr. Flowers in the building. We got Che Davis. I wonder if we'll see those glasses show up anytime soon.
Oh man.
Hey, let's see. You got to call the name out. You got to call the name
AKA The Vision.
Okay.
And then we got Father Time in the building.
Hey.
With a wonderful shirt.
What's up with y'all? Shout out to the One Contract gang, man. I hope y'all in the building, man. I'm gonna hop in the chat with y'all too. I'm in everywhere.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, wow. So Dr. Flowers, you're over there setting a vibe for us tonight. So we also have like the election results happening behind us. So currently 2 red, and a few blue. So there it is. Every now and then we'll flash the screen over to what's happening, so that way you don't just see it here, but you also see it on the main screen. So just as a heads up, if you want to follow along with what we're using this evening for our election map, we are actually using ABC. If you think that there's another site that we should use that is better, please let us know. But currently, this is what the map looks like. So currently, it's projecting that Oklahoma and Kentucky will be taken by Donald Trump, but whereas Massachusetts, New Jersey, Delaware, I want to say that this is also Maryland and somewhere else. Oh, well, DC and Maryland are taken by Biden. So currently, right now, Biden holds the lead with 44 electoral votes, whereas Donald Trump holds an electoral vote of 15. And that's that. We will also have some other folks coming in to join us to discuss how will this also affect the market. So, we also may have some folks on the future side. And if I remind myself, Antoine, don't you know something a little bit about futures over there?
Yeah, I trade a little futures. The S&P moving sometimes, gold.
So we're all going to be looking at different parts of the market just to see exactly what's happening. Lillie, what is it that you're looking at over there on your screen?
I'm actually trying to follow you along right now.
Oh, okay. So what I will do is I will drop the link in the chat.
Okay.
So there it is there. And then for everybody else on YouTube, you can check out abcnews.go. And that should do it for you there. Let us know. We would like to know if you voted. If you voted, just go ahead and just type in yes in the chat. We definitely want to know. But we also got to get some housekeeping out of the way, because we did have a market that was open, and we do got to discuss a few things, because tonight is going to be pretty, tonight is going to be filled with surprises. I just want to let you know that. Anything can happen. Anyone could possibly pop up. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, oh, wow. We're getting a lot of folks in here that said that they voted. Congratulations.
Good.
Yes. Thank you for going out there and exercising your right to, to what?
To vote. What's up with the?
Okay. What's up with the what?
It looks like it's.
It looks like it's what?
Like in.
Oh, no, this is YouTube.
Oh, okay.
So I haven't upped the, wow, Jolene, she's been coming for me for a while now. So
I'm gonna stay coming for you.
As usual.
okay. All right. So we got some stuff that's happening in the super chat. So I definitely wanted to, and Lillie, let's piggyback off of each other. Can we do that?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So, but first things first, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And on top of that, hit the like if you think that we're awesome. And then on top of that, if you want to be a part of the notification squad, go ahead and hit the bell right next to that subscribe. But we definitely want to let you know where your super chats are going. So Lillie, can you go ahead and just let us know like who's the recipient today for today's special event?
So her name's Ebony Nguyen. She's a part of our TBD chat and Telegram, right? And as you know, we kind of lost our great leader has been gone for a while. So TBD's kind of stepped up. Everyone in the chats has been stepping up and being really supportive of each other. And, shout out to Kels from Market Bullies. Like she's been really stepping it up and giving us notes and just really stepping in for Ty, right? Ebony, on the other hand, is our cheerleader, and she really like uplifts everybody. I mean, myself included, when my dad passed or anyone else really going through anything, she's out there just making sure we're all have our head straight and in the market and doing what we have to do. And then come to find out, she's going through like some health issues and having surgery on her brain and just, and she will beat it. She's very positive. So she's our group cheerleader. That's who this is going to today. You and I were talking about your journey, and then you came up with an amazing idea to kind of do this for Ebony. So I'll let you do the honors of telling everyone what we're doing.
So in today's to honor Ebony and to let her know that we all stand with her, and this is a community effort in which that we're all in this together. Your super chat dollars will be going directly to Ebony, and it'll help her as she goes through this process. But there's also a slight little catch.
Really?
I will match whatever the balance is at the end of the night. So if you guys feel like running it up in the super chats, I will match whatever is there in the tally for Ebony. So
let me do mine really quickly.
Dope.
Thank you so much. That's really generous of you. So you guys do the best you can.
We're all here to do what we're all here to do. All right. So let's get into the markets a little bit, because I know somebody over here is just like.
Not really. I'm hella chill right now. What's up, everyone? It is our election special, aka Trade Talk Tuesday, but with an election twist. Dylan, GC in the place to be. And let's get into this market. Did you just whoa? Anyway, back to this market, y'all. So it was all green. You already know it was all green. The Dow was up by 554.98 points. S&P 500 was up 58.78 points. And the NASDAQ was up 202.96 points. Now, for sector performance, we have coming in our top three: industrials, financials, and then consumer discretionary. And then for our bottom feeders, it's health, communication services, and energy. Now, for our pick performance, you can find our pick list on Instagram at That Come Up Series, and you'll see all of our picks there. And let's see. You already know Stock Crush, aka Tesla, is in at number 1, followed by Lamb Research, and
she's crushing on my significant other.
Whatever. Anyway, then my side stock base, excuse me, Nvidia. So my portfolio is like looking kind of good today. And then for our bottom feeders, we have Netflix, Zscaler, and a Roku. So they were at the bottom, but actually the only one of our picks that was negative today was Roku. Everything else was green.
So I think we saw Netflix slightly touch 500, but I think that we're getting ready to see a nice little run for Netflix, especially as it gets colder.
Yeah, shout out if you put in the comments if you have Netflix. I'm curious to know which cousins have Netflix right now. And the super chat is going crazy.
Let's do it. Let's run it up.
They running that
Love
up.
it.
There's a whole bunch of run it up Randy and blow the bag Betty activities going on right now.
I love it.
Below the bag, Betty.
That is so funny.
All right, so we got something special also to discuss, but is there anything that you wanted us to slightly touch upon? Like, I mean, we saw the market rally before, of course, the election results have come through. Just, I guess, apparently the cast is not acting right with Zoom. So every now and then I'll just have to flash it back over to the screen so that way everybody can see it. But we saw somewhat of a relief rally at the very end before, pretty much, here we are. But we saw a lot of red over these past few weeks, and you kind of also saw the market kind of like trading sideways. Does anybody have any, does anybody want to provide any thoughts onto that one? Because, like I said, it's a group discussion tonight. Maybe I've been talking too much in Clubhouse, but.
Yeah, I'll hop in. I think the first thing that we saw that correlated with that was the rising cases. So, especially in the Midwest, the Northeast, what we were seeing was this rotate back into, consumer discretionary, consumer cyclicals. The idea that this retail season that we're about to go into is actually not going to be as devastating as we might have thought back in January. And now what we're seeing is like, hold your horses. Is this going to be a 1 week event, 2 week event, 1 month event? What does Black Friday look like? And so one of the interesting plays that I've been holding on to that Marky put me on last time I was on this show is actually Best Buy. So Best Buy is one of those retail stocks that was really well positioned to do the delivery, do the digital channel. And now that you see this rotation back into this like stay at home order, UK just went back on the stay at home order. You can actually see that stocks like Best Buy are starting to rally again. So the people that had crazy sales back in Q2 because they had a great infrastructure, they're about to start going up again now. So I think if you had some winners back in that initial stay at home, I think we're rotating back into some of those stay at home names, minus the tech names, which are already, the valuations are as crazy as they can get. So if some things calm down after the stay at home, I think they're going to start rallying again. And Best Buy is definitely one of those.
Dr. Flowers, you bring up a good point. And it also, the data actually bears that out with what you just shared, because consumer discretionary was definitely in the top 3 as far as sector performance goes. And then also there's this general feeling in the air of just wanting to spend money. Like people really have not been spending money. And with the holiday season approaching and different video games coming out, different consoles coming out, people are like really looking for something to, I don't want to say blow the bag on, but get into this consumer activity. But my question is for anyone really, is Black Friday dead? What y'all think?
Black Friday been dead.
I haven't participated in Black Friday.
I personally don't either.
I haven't participated in Black Friday in God, like what is 3-4 years?
But I mean, like, well, maybe not us on here, but I'm saying in general.
Well, let's ask everybody out there. Let's see if you have participated in Black Friday. Go ahead and hit yes. If not, just go ahead and hit no. Over the past few years. Cool.
Ever since folks start getting mugged and old ladies start getting their purses took and all type of stuff like that on Black Friday, I was cool. I don't want no parts of that.
I mean, I do my own version of Black Friday, and that's really where I just, put my money towards Black-owned businesses. That's what
Lines are just not worth the discount that they're offering. I don't think a lot of people do them anymore.
Yeah, I think the day of is dead. But for example, what you're going to see is a depression of purchases throughout this entire. For example, I just bought a place in Chicago. I need appliances, washer, dryer, etc. I'm waiting until the week before Thanksgiving, right, when I'm expecting to see deeper discounts. But in reality, a lot of those deeper discounts have already been posted. I think Target's already, they said our Black Friday is all month. I expect to see that trend of this era trying to really trump up some sales that way.
Now, what do you guys think about Cyber Monday? Has Cyber Monday become like, because I'm seeing a lot of that in the chat for are for YouTube, where a lot of folks are saying, I don't do Black Friday, but I do Cyber Monday. Now that's interesting.
That is interesting.
They're one and the same. Do you think
Yeah.
Cyber Monday is pure Amazon now?
I was just gonna say that. I feel like that's an Amazon play.
Yeah.
I think it is an Amazon play, but if businesses are wise, then they would also have some type of deal. I remember seeing
AKA
deals.
Best Buy,
Best Buy, but then other
Target.
other businesses too would jump on that.
We haven't even discussed Walmart though, in this sense.
I don't shop at Walmart
Yeah.
at all.
I haven't shopped at Walmart since college.
Dang, that's
Keep going.
Yeah, I was about to say, what are the comments got to say about that?
right now.
Well, the only reason why I don't like Walmart is because of that one story. I remember it was just like, how they treat their employees. Just not a fan of companies that mistreat employees. So that's what I think.
Walmart it doesn't fit my vibe. There's too many people in there. There's too much stuff going on, and I mean,
But haven't they been building up their infrastructure to rival things like Amazon? Like they're challenging that. They're coming for Amazon on that retail side.
Well,
So-
you also have to take into consideration that Walmart is also the largest retailer. So Amazon's not the largest retailer.
Right.
So-
But that's the one we think of when we hear Cyber Monday.
Well,
Like that's
well, yeah, when you think anything e-commerce, you think Amazon, which is the everything store. So
If you're thinking about a stock play, though, I think Walmart, if you look at the chart, is pretty insane. It's up $40 since March. They've been investing very heavily out in the Bay. They have big offices out in Silicon Valley now, hiring a lot of data scientists, a lot of analysts, a lot of logistics experts. And then if you go in any Walmart, as I just did when I moved, they are always packed. And so those are one of the places that's kind of immune to another stay-at-home order. So if you're looking for a retail location, you're looking for places, where a lot of people have been laid off. We still got 7 million people without jobs, so Walmart is going to be where they go.
yeah, so we saw an earlier inversion around May this year, and we saw quite a few. So, but overall, Amazon is just kind of like just taking the cake on this one. Yeah. But the interesting thing is also when we look at that RSI level, I mean, what is it? Walmart sits at, let's just knock it out. Walmart sits at a 54. If we look at, say, for example, an Amazon, we see that, and we see that one at an RSI of 42, which, that could be telling. That could be that could be telling some things that this may be a potential buying opportunity. Though I know that Yahoo's pretty slow, so don't really. A lot of times when we do the show, a lot of folks look at this where it says short-term bearish, mid-term bearish. Don't look at this because this is pretty much just showing you the behavior. But let's be real, Yahoo doesn't really do a very good job of kind of like putting this data really into the perspective of things. So that's interesting.
But if you look at this chart, Amazon's really been in a range since July. Now that range, the volatility has increases in September, but really it has that bottom of about 3,000. It had one peak. I don't think it's getting back to 3,500 unless something structurally changes. Right now, I think it's a buying opportunity at the bottom of the Bollinger Band. I'd probably set a goal of somewhere around 3,400. To try to get out and a stop. I think this is a great buying opportunity. I think I'd set a stop maybe at 2950, 2,900 flat.
Yeah, because I'm seeing it really at that 3,300 where it like, okay, we're kind of like in no man's land a little bit. So the very high we came to about a 3,400, and since then we just haven't been able to pick up. It kind of like just traded completely sideways.
Yeah.
Literally for 2 days. Wow, that's crazy.
And you said you don't see it going back to 3,500 for a minute. Why is that?
Oh, go ahead, Antoine.
Well, I just don't see where the capital will come from, right? I think if we didn't see a ton of outflows, right? If you look at the volume here, I think people took profit, but the reality is we just saw earnings. They're essentially the same place they were, right? The gross margins aren't as good as another. I mean, granted, I'm a Google employee, so I'm always going to say that the most undervalued tech company right now is Alphabet. Undervalued tech company is Alphabet by far. But if you look at their gross margins, they're lower than some of the other tech companies. If you look at now their growth has been insane, but a lot of the growth has been in AWS. And so retail, they're killing it. They've been killing it. I think that's been priced in since March. So I don't know that we're going to find out anything else about their retail business that we don't already know. It's not already priced into the stock.
So speaking of which, Antoine, because we didn't even do this any justice since we're literally going completely casual this evening. Can you please enlighten the folks that probably don't even know who you are? Can you please tell the world what is it that you do? I mean, we now know that you work at Google, but what is it that you do at Google?
I'm just a guy from Chicago, man. I'm a data scientist at Google Cloud on the revenue acceleration team. So my role is to focus on sales and marketing conversions growth using machine learning and all the tools at my disposal. So it's a crazy ride. Was out in the Valley and decided to spend the rest of the ride out COVID back in my hometown of Chicago.
So tell us a little bit, like let the world know a little bit about your journey, getting like from, because for those of you that don't know, if you haven't seen any prior episodes between myself and Antoine, Antoine and I went to Tuskegee University together, along with Christopher Bush. Shout outs to you. But yeah, tell the world a little bit about your story, sir, because it's a very dope story.
I'll make it quick because the people came here to hear about stocks. But grew up on the South Side, went to Tuskegee University, met a lot of awesome people. Shout out to Chris Bush, my line brother. Shout out to Phi Beta Sigma. Got out, actually did some time in the Navy. So that's how me and Mark ended up hanging out. I was stationed out up in Whidbey Island. The reason I actually went to the Navy after college is because I was trading stocks, needed some extra cash, wanted to pay off my loans. Thought it would be a nice little financial play to set me up and get me ahead. Got out of that, went down to the University of South Florida, got some degrees in applied tech entrepreneurship and a PhD in neuroscience. Moved over to the data science world and have kind of been playing back and forth between this startup entrepreneurial growth advising / data science analytics space for a while. And now I got some cool things in the works. Some companies that I'm going to be bringing to the world here in 2021. So looking forward to sharing that with you guys.
Wow.
And we also have some other guests here. So let's let them not also be forgotten, because they definitely should not. So panel, please introduce yourselves. Oh, don't be shy.
I mean, y'all already know me, the come up cousin correspondent, favorite cuzzo's favorite cuzzo, the head representative of the one contract gang. Y'all already know who I am, man.
Hey.
He's like, you know who I am. I'm Kevin Durant.
Great to have you here.
No, I appreciate y'all having me, man. I know, I'm not really political. I mean, if y'all want me to get political, I might just switch it up real quick. But I'm here for whatever the people need.
Right? It's happening. Yeah, you know what? We need some vision in here. Who are you? Who are you?
My name's Che Davis. I'm an entrepreneur and filmmaker, executive producer on the come up. So we do a lot of behind the scenes work with Steve Arsenio, that's somewhere hiding in the background there.
Steve, we want to see your face, fam.
Oh, yeah, sure.
What?
Show all the cousins. Show all the cousins.
Oh my gosh, I'm busy.
The shooter can't never show his face.
Just poke your head
Right?
in. Just poke your head in.
There it is. There it is. With the hood on.
Too much.
Boogie with the hoodie. So no, my goal is really just to supply the vision on the film side. We have a movie coming out that I definitely want all the cousins to check out. We'll get into it when we got a trailer for you guys. So that sneak peek will be coming soon. But other than that, just making sure that we're building out Mark Monroe. I call him Money Monroe. That's my big bro. Building out his story well. Jolene GC in the place to be. Making sure that her story is on point, and looking forward to bringing you guys more stories, more content. So really supplying that inspiration. And we want to do it on a financial front, a film entertainment front, and a lot of people that I help cousin wise outside of this. A lot of guys and women and even the kids are involved in this. They want us to all come together and do a conference. So even putting something together in the works where we could all link up, but I'll stop there. That's just a little bit of the vision for y'all.
I do want to shout you out, Che. Y'all, okay, so for a little behind the scenes on wealth rituals, on Mondays, with the exception of this Monday, which I'll get with you, Che. We meet on Mondays in what we call the writing room. And this is where we flesh out like outlines for wealth rituals. And we talk about like, what are those key things that need to be pulled out. And it's really helpful to have someone like Che, who does have that writing background and also who can just pull things out, because obviously I talk to Mark every day. And so he knows like the background behind the background, but someone who doesn't know the background behind the background can like pull things out and like really point out what would be key for someone who's just now listening and just now hearing it. So shout out to you. And obviously, you know, Steve, he, you know, he likes to be behind the camera, but between y'all two and then obviously Mark, it's a great team.
Oh, and last but okay.
I put him on.
Okay, all right. Well,
it's just a little bit of the vision. It's just a little bit coming for y'all.
Okay.
We have to save the best for last, though.
Yes, but speaking of which, I will be right back. But go ahead, introduce yourself.
I'll hold it down.
Yeah, Jolyn. So people know me as Lillie from the Goon Hand episode. That's all they refer me to.
That's hilarious. That was so funny though, girl.
It's crazy. So yeah, that's me. I've been in the market since March. So other than the person who's obsessed with the market, they know me as Lillie from the Goon Hand episode. So that's me, and I live in Hawaii.
Yes. So you had some kayaking in the other day, right?
I was, when you guys were in Clubhouse.
Okay, I was trying to remember what conversation that was, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, you were at Clubhouse and I had to pull over because I had no, you were just dropping a lot of gems. So we had to kayak over and pull over and listen to you guys.
Don't worry, y'all. For those of you who are still waiting on invites to Clubhouse, don't worry about that. The information that was in those conversations will be in a video. So I got you on that. Do not worry. You're not missing out. Don't have any, you know, FOMO. There's no FOMO. There's not. It's going to be all packaged nicely in a video that you can constantly replay. And you hear better right now because they're our guests. So we have guests rolling through, you know.
You never know who's going to show up, but you can take your mask off.
Can they tell who you are?
I don't know if they can tell, but
it's Teri, y'all.
Butter, over here.
Teri in the building?
Yeah.
Oh wait,
yeah, because Butter may be going through some things, but Butter.
Yeah, so you know it's a full house over here, y'all.
Y'all, we are just here now. Unfortunately, Butter. Unfortunately, Victor is not going to be able to join us this evening.
Okay.
So he's dealing with family, but we give you much our love, Victor. So we will hold it down. I think we are also supposed to be having another guest join us, but who is this person that has just came to the door?
Just flew in. Just got out the flight.
Where am I
Introduce
looking?
yourself.
So
it's right there where you can. That's the camera you can look.
This is all beautiful. It's all high tech and stuff.
I
didn't
know,
even
right?
know this is what this looked like. I'm Teri Gioma, guys. I'm the founder of Trade and Travel. I've been trading for 10 years, but for a long time I did it as a side hustle while I was in education. Last job was assistant principal of an elementary school. And yeah, just excited to be part of the come up. Woo!
we finally got her here, y'all.
Hey, Trade and Travel.
But
hey, cousins.
We got you some water too, because we're gonna need to stay completely hydrated. I don't know
Thank
what's going on this
you.
evening. So we're gonna do something and check the map and see what's the results, because I think some polls had recently closed.
Okay.
So we're going to do a simple little refresh, and it's currently
Sorry.
oh man,
I mean, Bonnet's crew. I mean, we just.
when the squad come together.
I I can make a bonnet.
Okay.
I will make a bonnet.
You know what I can't make? Shades.
Anyway.
But anyways, currently it's sitting at 44 electoral votes for Joe Biden and 42 for Donald Trump. He's recently projected to take, I think it's the Arkansas polls have closed, but Western Virginia, he is the projected winner there, as well as in Indiana and Tennessee. So
No surprises on the map. No surprises.
no surprises just yet, but we're still looking for some of those swing states to come on in. I think so. What you see here on this map is, I think these are pretty much the polls that have recently closed. So the ones that are in gray, and then the ones that are like light gray, those haven't closed quite yet. So we still got a long way to go. So stay tuned. We're only 33 minutes in.
We'll be at this all night.
Yeah, we'll be here, and you know. Yeah, so, all right, so moving on, I wanted to share something with everybody because yours truly has been working on something. Well, I haven't been working on something because clearly I've been busy with other stuff, but I did invest into something that I would love to share with each and every single one of you. And I think you're gonna like this, Antoine, because you happen to be a data-focused person. So I'm actually going to log out. I feel like it just gives it its nice effect.
Okay.
You know? All right, so
This is exciting.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a company called Quiver Quant. So pretty much, they say cutting edge alternative data platform. I mean, yours truly has been working with a lot of quantitative data, but I felt like it was necessary to share it with each and every single one of you. So let's go ahead. I'm going to officially, dun, da, 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 drum roll please. I'm going to officially now drop it in there for each and every single one of you.
Wow.
It has now been dropped into the live chat. So if you go to this website, you can follow along. It is also, you guys are probably asking like, well, how much is it going to cost us, Mark?
How
Nothing.
much is it gonna cost us, Mark?
It's free.
You know how we do.
So let's check it out. So imagine what it would look like if you had an idea for, or you wanted to know exactly what politicians are investing in. Let's find out. Well, shall we check out the Senate or the House?
Let's go to the Senate.
Okay, so here we are at the Senate. So we're looking at Senator Richard Burr right now, and looking at his trading performance this year.
Wow.
Now, of course, we can switch it over to, you know, let's check it out since, you know, we heard about, you know, Kentucky. Let's go check out, let's see if we can see it. Let's check out Mitch McConnell. His portfolio isn't doing so hot.
Karma.
I'm like, wow, who tells us this? This is crazy.
So here's his trading performance. Here's trading sentiment alongside the S&P 500 by our dear US senators. And we can also see recent transactions. Yes. And we can filter it by stock if we would like to. But then we can also go to some other stats, shall we? We can look at house trading. We can also look at political beta. So we're going to go to a part of the site called political beta, in which that we can look at. So when you see the high red, then that means on the side for looking at towards Trump. And then if we look at the blue, that's more so geared towards clearly Joe Biden. So now we have ourselves a slight heat map as it pertains to these are all the different sectors that stand to benefit under, say, for example, a political party.
This is crazy.
Now let's look at that. I just saw Taiwan Semiconductor. Let's look at the
You did.
chips.
Where are we at here?
Right there. Right there.
Let's pull them up. So clearly, when we look at it, it's at a 0.4, signifying for Donald Trump.
Interesting.
So if we pull it up even further, it's at a 0.07. Interesting.
Can you say it again? Go over that again one more time.
So when we look at the beta, so this is Taiwanese semiconductor. And so essentially it's leaning more so towards a Donald Trump.
Okay.
So is this saying that if
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Antoine. Break it down as it pertains to beta for the folks.
Oh no! So what I'm asking is this saying that if Trump wins, this stock performs better?
Correct.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Let's look at AutoZone for Teri.
Right.
Where is that, AZO? Where is it? Let's pull it up.
But I'm seeing like Boeing and a lot of other ones too.
So here is AutoZone. Actually, it's leaning negative towards Donald Trump, but has a positive beta towards Biden. But here's the funny thing. There's been a lot of selling from one Kelly Loeffler.
What's that?
Isn't she in
They are
Georgia?
they are a United States senator.
Yeah.
Every month? No, just through February. Okay.
And essentially, it also tells us what the chatter has been as it pertains to AutoZone via Twitter. Also taking into consideration how many times it's also been on Wall Street Bets for all the run it up Randys there. As well as the house as well. The house has also been trading. So Susie Lee has sold, she sold on June 9th, and then she also purchased on May 8th. So
I want to see
yeah,
if she did good.
Susie Lee, I mean,
She's a trader. Okay.
no, she sounds like she is trading. She did
that 30 days.
All right, so here's some of the cool things. Let's take you a little bit further into this site because, I felt like, of course, they leave my company there since we already know who Tesla really belongs to. But Jolene, I'll let you have your fun.
Whatever.
But let's look at some interesting things here on the quant side. So now we see, as of recently, Pat Roberts had purchased Tesla stock as of August 3rd, but then recently sold as of November 1st. Now, isn't it interesting, or not November, but September 1st? Now, there's something interesting about this. Does anybody notice something about these dates? Like, do you know anything about these dates? I mean, I'm just asking for a friend.
My charts.
You might have to zoom in a little.
Sure. Let's, well, it's just the date, but I mean, if I have to zoom in, there we go.
Nice.
Is that better? Can you all see it?
Oh, wait, there it is. Is that better?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, we know Better Day was the 22nd.
But here's the interesting thing about the market. What happened on September 2nd?
Dropped real big.
Huh. So could they have known that essentially, you know what?
Oh, wow.
Yo.
And they
So
did it on
There's
the
only
3rd?
one way to find out. Let's go and pull up the wonderful chart. Let's look at, let's go to our friends. And let's look at what happened as of September 2nd. Huh. November 1st.
What did they
September.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So, August 31st, and then September, and then boom, boom. But here's the funny thing. Remember when we said that they bought around like August? So if we come all the way back to here.
They still made some money on the trade.
They made a lot of money.
Look at that run up.
Think about it. They bought it at $297 and then sold on November 1st at $475.
Wow.
They're either a really good trader or they knew something.
All right, so we think that, I just want to say, let's look at another company just to be on the safe side, because things could happen. November 2nd. interesting. Just very, very interesting. But here, let's come back to the site. Let's come back to the site. So we also can look at other things, like for example, when we look at a company, we can pull up if they've had any violations and fines. We can pull up the political beta. So we've gone through Senate, House, and political beta. But should we look up contracts?
Yes, let's see what.
Because a lot of these companies, they take on contracts from the government. So I mean, could Tesla possibly be getting contracts from the United States government?
Oh, wow.
These are all of the recipients.
These are all the recipients of contracts based upon dollar. Color is, of course, if you're, I mean, you're literally living it if you're in green. So clearly they are having fun. Of course, Boeing making significant amounts of money over its contract beneficiary. So we have 54% there from under Trump administration over, since the second term to the first term. Just want to put that out there in perspective. But let's go a little bit more in depth, shall we? Let's journey back a little bit, because
Hey, Mark, is the size of that square the amount? Does that equate how much money they got?
307 billion. Yeah.
Okay.
So LMT, this is 307 billion out of the, general perspective of
Martin, right? Like that's defense.
that's Lockheed Martin defense, and then of course you have Boeing, and then I mean clearly even GE is surviving off
In a
of.
little something.
They're surviving off of essentially its contracts and so many others like American Airlines, and we'll leave that there. All
Shout
right.
out to Tevo's comment. I'm sorry. He said, I ain't gonna lie, I'm scared to go to this side of my computer.
Yeah, I don't know about this one, Mark.
Why? What's wrong?
I might need like one of those private browsers or something for this one.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. So that gives you a slight little tidbit of what to deal with. I'm gonna try to see if I can get some more stuff on here for you guys. Let's see, because we gotta keep it going.
I need that Trump Biden heat map again to see what else.
Yeah, let's look at that. And let's check in too on the map.
Yes, let's definitely check in on the map first. We'll come back to that. So we're about to do a refresh, and we're still sitting here at, so we're still sitting with the results we're still seeing votes coming through. So currently right now, Joe Biden leads in Pennsylvania right now at 65 to 34%. Ohio, 55%, 44%. But keep in mind, these are all very, very early. When we look at Florida, Donald Trump is leading 51 to 48. When we look at Texas, Joe Biden is leading 51 to 48. Anywhere else that I should look, y'all?
Georgia.
Anywhere else?
What's Arizona looking like?
He's saying
Arizona
Georgia.
Huh?
He's saying Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia.
So Georgia, Donald Trump leads 56% to 43. Yeah.
What are
And
they
then-
saying? What are they saying about the mail-in ballots? Are they counting them down too, or?
We're still trying to figure that out, because we heard that there was quite a little fiasco with the United States Postal Service, but they're trying to get that squared away.
A good rule of thumb is if it's a Republican state, they're probably not counting it until after tonight. This is a Democratic state. So the one exception is Florida, which actually has a rule that they started counting their mail-in ballots 21 days ago.
Yep.
So we're actually going to know who wins Florida tonight. But in states like Georgia and other things, they're not counting those mail-in ballots until after all the day of ballots. So it's a very good possibility that we wake up tomorrow thinking Donald Trump is the president again. And it's not until 3 days from now that we find out he really lost Michigan, Pennsylvania, et cetera.
And then he's sitting behind a non-scalable wall.
I will say this, though. The states you definitely watch is Ohio and Pennsylvania.
I would say Michigan, man. I would say,
Well, if we're looking at Michigan, it's currently at 58-40. We still haven't even reached 1 million votes yet, though.
Really the big toss-up is Arizona. If he loses Arizona, you can't win. You can't win this thing without Arizona. And they haven't closed yet because they're on the West Coast.
We on the West, we West Coasting it. So guess the journey continues. Now, let's get back to some of these quants, shall we?
Yeah, look at Terry wants to look at the heat map again.
Yes.
Hey, Mark, somebody asked how often does that site update?
It should be updating if, for the most part, on a monthly, but given that you have some governmental information, that probably may not update until the quarter.
You get alerts on it, Mark? Can you get alerts?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
But there is a plus version going that's coming out, which will give you more real-time information. Okay, so what would you like me to look at?
The heat map.
Okay, so the political beta. And here is our illustrious heat map, which I'm going to share because I have a feeling that everybody can't see it. So here we are. Here is the heat map of all we see here. Anything that we should look at in particular?
So basically the red or coral pinkish, that means that if Trump wins, that company stands to benefit.
Yes.
Okay.
Where's where?
AMD. I'm surprised they're red.
In the electronic technology section.
Yeah. So I see TSM and NVIDIA, but not.
AMD is right there, right next to Intel.
Very red.
Now, is it that Republican senators have invested there, or is it that company actually stands to do better from a Trump win?
We could find out if you like.
Okay.
Definitely. Can we do the same thing with Tesla when you're done with AMD?
But of course. Y'all know who I am. Kevin Durant. So apparently a lot of folks have been talking about AMD though over the past clearly this is a whole lot of, but
the Twitter is
no data for this ticker from the Senate.
Okay.
And also a little bit of data though from the House. This Josh Gottenheimer had a sale, but then came back in, purchase, and then Dean Phillips purchased. We are seeing a lot of purchasing on the House side. That's been in AMD. Now we see no corporate flights. We see no data as it pertains to government contracts. Now, what was the other company that you wanted me to pull?
Tesla.
Oh, hello, darkness, my old friend. Of course, we can pull up Tesla because we know that Tesla is, this is family over here versus all these bays.
Whatever. My stocks need to prove themselves first before they
isn't
get
this
upgraded.
interesting though? Look at all these governmental contracts though that Tesla has gone on and take, including Department of Homeland Security.
That's a lot.
Department of Veteran Affairs, Department of Commerce, General Services Administration.
Do you guys
my
think
company
these
stay
are
busy.
for electricity? Because
Oh, we could pull them.
Okay, that's true.
We can pull the contract. I think. So, all right. Let's look at the government spending, shall we?
Oh my gosh. You have contract.
That's crazy.
So, with all that being said, boom.
Does that say child award?
Yeah. Like, for example, you've been grandfathered in or.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
I was like, what are they doing with kids?
yeah, refers to directly,
Is
yeah.
it big enough for people to see it?
I'm
I'm
sorry.
struggling. I know, I'm
I'm
struggling.
sorry. Yo, hey. Indefinite vehicle delivery vehicle summary. Wow. Interesting. So
I didn't catch their color. Were they more red or were they more blue?
We didn't look at
I think it's kind of like in between.
Okay.
I think you have to interpret
It's just it's not huh?
I think you have to interpret it, right? And like, you know, and I'd love to kind of sit with the guys that make this. And, you know, we talk about this thing in data science where it's like effect size, right? And so essentially they're saying they'd get an equal amount of money on either side, but we're not talking about trends. We're not talking about, one of the things they're probably not taking into account is that Joe Biden is probably going to create more solar subsidies. Solar and electric subsidies are going to be a big part of his energy plan coming forward.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's more qualitative than it is quantitative. So you have to take that, you have to take this and say, okay, this is the quantitative. What are the qualitative characteristics that we want to add onto this when we actually interpret this data? That's the important thing.
So you are spot on, dear friends, spot on. And then, of course, we see the Run It Up Randys for, shout outs to Tevo. There's been a lot of Run It Up Randys in Tesla, as you can see. A lot of mentions, including as of recently of October 31st, there was 11 mentions. Sorry, we can't pull those conversations up, but that would be interesting to see what they talked about.
Is that coming up later?
It's possible.
Okay.
It's very, very possible. But I want to do one more thing. Let us look up. Shall we look up CEO compensation, work visas, shared ownership? I mean, we can pull it up, all of it up.
Work visas. That's really interesting with what's happening with H-1B visas. That could have a serious impact on the future cost of hiring, cost of work, and that could really impact margins. So
this tells us exactly how is it that we could trace where pretty much the H-1B visas are. So essentially, H-1B visas what is that, 360, what is that, 1,000 or 360,000 for here in California, or for in California, it's 232, Texas is at 169. So as you can see, Washington is pretty busy when it comes to work visas. Next up, and it tells you the companies also. So for example, Microsoft is one of the biggest employers when it comes to H-1B visas in Washington. And then you have Cognizant Technologies as well as Cognizant across the board. I think they're like the second largest. And then you got Google in San Francisco and then Cognizant again in Texas. Interesting.
That's a huge headwind.
And there again, we can look at it as it pertains to salaries. Also, when it comes to what the median salary is for H-1B visa workers by state and top company in that state. Okay.
Numbers look kind of good.
So then let's look at something else, shall we? Let's look up patents.
Yeah.
So I like the way they think about me, and these are all the patents by Tesla.
Dang, Tesla.
Wow.
Y'all gonna have to take a closer look on your own.
Now, here's the closer thing. You can also pull up information about these patents.
Click on it.
It gives you the abstract.
Wow.
This is amazing.
You can get lost in here, just as a heads up. You can get lost in the data, but
As if the scholars didn't need more.
I like data.
Where's the patent for aren't they getting salt from the ground or something?
I thought it was
Nickel.
nickel. Yeah. Because they want to do something else in India so that they could get more faster.
I'm probably sure it hasn't come through yet.
Windshield, storage containers, technologies for vehicle positioning, taillights. Dang.
They got patents for all their stuff.
The whole car.
Patented.
But keep in mind, also open source patented. So that's this. And there's also a place called upcoming IPOs.
Oh.
And I'm gonna leave that one alone for everybody's imagination. That and COVID research. So have fun, go mad there.
Jeez.
Can we look at the Apple?
Huh?
Can we look at the Apple patents?
Yeah.
Of
Please.
course.
Please.
Let us pull up Apple's patents. Obviously, this is about to be a lot of data that we're about to pull. So, clearly, these are all the patents by Apple, and way more than Tesla, just as a heads up. But let's go a little bit further up. So display screen or portion thereof with animated icon, electronic device with animated graphical user interface, notification of receiver capabilities, pose and heart rate energy expenditure for yoga. So they're actually patenting like the different types of functions in which that the watch receives. Yes, you are fully charged. We also have electronic display border gaining systems and methods, intelligent assistant for home automation. What is that? Could that be the HomePod, y'all?
We're all in their business. I like it.
Wireless charging mats. Near field microwave wireless power system. You know what? We could be here all day.
We could. This is really dope.
Right?
And it is all for free.
Free.
That's crazy. We appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are totally welcome.
Were you scared to get all that information together? I mean, that's a lot of data about a lot of powerful people.
No. I mean, it's data for now until you figure out what to do with it.
Bobby Axelrod.
You know, the data is always out there. It's just a matter. It's just a matter of just how to analyze it better. Yo, are you stuck in the matrix over there? Antoine, looking at the Dr. Flowers is over there in the data. So that is Quiver Quant for each and every single one of you. All right. So what did you guys think? I mean, what are your thoughts?
That is dope.
Yes. I feel like if you had seen all that before their Apple Day, you would have known what they were going to say because you already knew the patents, you knew everything.
Someone said Che is sipping.
Yeah.
I'm over here digesting this. I didn't know politicians could really trade like that, seeing as they have inside access so often. So that's crazy. And then the fact that we could see their trades. So yeah, that's the first place I'm checking on these red days from now on.
Can the data be downloaded? Someone asked.
This guy Mark.
Oh, that was a no tip, y'all. Don't get it twisted.
But hey, Mark, if they want to provide an API, just let me know. You know, you got a customer.
I got you.
Yo,
Remember,
I cannot.
by the way, y'all, this is only one half, like probably about maybe 35% of the entire platform.
Okay.
So this is the portion in which that is free for everybody in the sense of pretty much like this 100% transparency methodology that the company lives and breathes by. So Antoine, if we want to talk APIs, I'll definitely, yeah.
Can you share what the other side is?
You say what, Lillie?
Can you share what the other 60% or 65% is?
You know, it'd be interesting if you actually had a bot that could ultimately trade on the option side with the.
You're kidding. Wow.
Here's your water. We need to take a group sip on that.
Yeah.
Everyone get your water.
She ain't sipping one.
So, hey, Mark, are we talking like an official quant that can give you like real live time?
Mark Monroe is close for business right now.
Come on, you don't went from Bobby Axelrod to Taylor now, man.
Part of me is just thinking like, this is what hedge funds and a lot of the big banks are looking at and like the edge that they had. And now all of a sudden, for free, we have access to this kind of data. This is crazy.
Wait, did everybody sign up?
Wait, you didn't tell us what to do.
Like you quiverquant.com, that's all we got to do?
Where's the link? Hold on.
Oh, here you go.
No, I'm trying to log in like Lillie.
There you go. I just sent it in the chat for y'all, and then I will repost it in there for everybody.
Thank you.
You can go ahead and have fun. There you go.
To your point, before I joined Google, I was a quant, and yes, these third-party data sources are exactly. I mean, we used everything from satellite data to, I mean, the stuff they talk about in Bobby Axelrod, in billions is real. People sit outside of shipping docks and count how many cartons are coming in every day. So that type of alternative data really provides an advantage when you're trying to get ahead of the market in terms of demand and what people are producing.
So for those of you that wanting to know what is he talking about when you talk about satellite, you can actually pull a satellite imagery, so that way you can actually like literally drop in to literally kind of like this view where you could see like pretty much manufacturing plants, just to see exactly how many trucks or what the traffic looks like from those. I mean, they're images, but what the traffic looks like, just to see exactly how busy they are, just to get a good gauge for their supply chain and logistics. So
even with oil, with energy, it's you know, you can see how many oil tankers are going back and forth across the Pacific on any given day and get an estimate of what oil demand is before they even report it. So a lot of the big trading firms, they already have that information.
So I think there's a lot of minds blown here. So I just want to make sure, just doing a check-in, like Tevo, you good? Lillie, you good?
I ain't gonna lie, man.
A lot of questions, but I'm good.
She's signing up right now.
I am.
Vision, you good?
Listen, I want the secret codes, bro. Like, I want the quant dinging me. I need to know when to make these moves.
Why is everybody looking at me for? I'm like,
You're calling out my wants.
no, I mean, all right. So let's just do a quick little check-in, shall we?
Oh wait, 73.
You just gave it away.
My bad, never mind.
You didn't hear it.
We now.
My bad.
So apparently Joe Biden he's pretty much projected to take New York, Vermont. I think that's it for really the East Coast. I mean, the biggest question is going to be, what is it like for Maine, New Hampshire, and then really like looks like he's starting to run away with Pennsylvania. And
Dr. Myers clapping.
looks like he's also starting to run away with Ohio. Michigan not looking too good. So we have 54% of the voting in for Ohio, only 15% in for Pennsylvania. Looking at Florida, it says 92% of expected vote reporting. So that's interesting. Texas, 65%, and Joe Biden is still holding the lead by 1%.
Are Democrats gonna take Texas?
I mean, I'm looking at that like, what? That'd be amazing.
Donald Trump still has Virginia. He also still has actually Joe Biden has North Carolina. South Carolina is, I mean, we're still in early reporting in these areas, except 75% here, 37% here, only 3% in South Dakota, and really North Dakota. I'm pretty much expecting that these are probably going to be significantly red states.
I was hoping for Jamie Harrison down in South Carolina to take out Lillie.
Yeah, I was rooting for him too.
So currently, as it pertains to electoral votes, Joe Biden's at 80, Donald Trump is at 48, just as a heads up. Hawaii still has, their polls have officially closed. Am I correct, Lillie? Because you're in Hawaii.
Yep.
So we are awaiting results here. And that's where we are currently at. But as it pertains to Connecticut, Joe Biden has taken Connecticut. Wow, 63% with only 4%.
92% of the vote in Florida.
And where?
Florida.
Yeah, it says 92% of the vote is in, and Donald Trump leads by 3.
Florida's tight.
I was hoping
that's very tight.
Yeah. It
400,000
might
votes.
surprise us.
Florida's a stronghold for him, man. But I'm surprised about Michigan. I thought we were going to take Michigan this time, but Wisconsin matters, man. Wisconsin is important. And I can't believe we're leading in Texas, of all places.
Mm-hmm.
What was Pennsylvania?
So Pennsylvania is at 15%, but Joe Biden has a significant lead, so we can come in a little bit closer. So we only have one jurisdiction that is really reported. And then the rest, we're still waiting on the results, but based upon where we're seeing, it's like down here is Donald Trump his voter base. But then up here to the north, we have a lot of Joe Biden. So yeah, so as you can see in real time, we're actually starting to see these locations close because I think this one just closed.
Okay. What was the lead in Texas? I didn't get a.
So the lead in Texas is Joe Biden leads by 1%.
Okay, it's
With
just really
55%
tight.
reported. So it's light up, but it's looking a little early.
Yeah.
So now we just had a few more places close, like for example, Nebraska, though that 1% is reported. I think Joe Biden is expected to take this one. He's the incumbent. Kansas, that's interesting. 38% reported, and Joe Biden is winning in Kansas. I didn't expect that one. So
I still feel like there's gonna be like a lot of upsets at the very end.
Joe Biden is also leading in Missouri, and Donald Trump is the incumbent in Missouri.
Someone wants to know if you can pay to get the data from Quiver Quant.
Looks like he's gonna take Florida.
That's your answer. Sorry, guys.
Really?
It's looking like it. So let's come in a little bit closer. So
Someone said, what the fuck?
That don't look like it.
yeah, so we have a few locations, but yeah, it looks like he's going to take Florida. So we got 92%. The electoral votes in Florida is, what is it like? It doesn't tell us how many votes there actually are. He's projected to take South Dakota. But this could be interesting because if Joe Biden takes Kansas, I gotta see what this is. Okay, so we still got a few areas. Because we know that this area is going to pretty much light up blue. California, but Texas, that is.
Yeah.
That's the one to watch. That's the one to watch for this evening.
Someone said 29 electoral votes in
Florida.
Florida.
Okay.
Thank you. See, this is why we love you, cousins.
Donald Trump might win this, guys. What happens if Donald Trump wins tomorrow? Do we all move to Hawaii, Lillie?
No, we all moved to Africa.
I'll be in Ghana, y'all.
Come visit me in Nigeria. I'm just saying. No,
I mean,
Right
you know,
next door,
if you
right
really
next
think about
door.
it, South Africa doesn't look that bad either.
but the water don't always work, so we need a country where the water works.
That's a good
Dang.
fact.
And electricity.
Unless I build my own.
Water, that works.
Is Canada just too cold for everybody?
Colorado just closed.
Canada's too cold for me.
But they won't let us in.
Are you seeing this, Antoine?
Someone said Wakanda. We gotta find it.
71% Joe Biden in Colorado.
Dang, Colorado.
Donald Trump is actually the incumbent in Colorado.
But only like.
But we got to win Arizona. We got to flip one of the Sun Belt states. And unfortunately, we didn't get Florida. And Texas is super tight. I don't think we're going to take Texas. The suburbs around Dallas still went red with 50% of reporting in. And but we don't know what the mail-in ballots look like. If a lot of those people in the suburbs mailed in, it's completely changed.
That's Dallas County.
Okay.
81% reported, 66% Joe Biden.
No,
But then we also have Kaufman County. What was the other large county?
Houston is down at the bottom. I'm guessing all the blue are like the big cities though.
Harris County.
This is Webb County.
Go up a little bit to the right. I think there's a blue right there.
Harris County.
I think that's Houston.
It makes me want to play Carmen Sandiego all over again. Where in the world is
Man,
Carmen
that was
Sandiego?
my show. I love that show.
So what are the big macroeconomic, things that happen if Trump wins tomorrow, man? Other than us all crying and antidepressant sales going up. So we should all get in our healthcare and biotech stocks.
I think the biggest thing that we also need to pay attention to, and so I think I actually need to show this, is, a lot of folks worry about presidency, but we also have to pay attention to this race,
Yeah.
which right now,
move.
You got 23 Republicans up for election versus 12 Democrats up for election.
Wow.
And currently, right now, it's 37 to 37.
I was hoping it would be more competitive in Kentucky. It doesn't look like it was competitive at all in Kentucky.
No.
Dang. Turtle.
But it's not, well, this is very early in Virginia. When we look at, yeah.
So when we talk about the macroeconomic, does that mean that like if Republicans win, we're not getting stimulus checks? That'd be one, right? Because they didn't want the stimulus checks.
I think that they'll do stimulus. They'll just be different types of packages for stimulus. They'll probably be a lot different than what the Democrats were proposing. And the thing is that a lot of folks need to pay attention to is that, you know, since there was no stimulus that came forth, and when we think about it on the economic standpoint, you're gonna have to provide more because of the fact that people are hurting more. So you're talking about all these companies. You're talking about significant amounts of people that are unemployed. When you talk about healthcare, across the whole board, and we haven't even gotten into the mortgage side.
I think you want to really look at short-term options on REITs if you have a Republican win here, and the reason I say that is because, you know, I'm a city guy, and I think, you know, a lot of us live in cities. The reality is, New York right now has is projected a $9 billion deficit. Chicago has a $1.2 billion deficit. San Francisco has like a $980 million deficit. The big difference between the Republican plans and the Democratic plans is the Democratic plans have funds for the states and localities that have been footing the bill for all of the COVID measures, whereas the Republicans are saying, no, we're not bailing out Democratic cities, because they want the cities to crash so that people will move out of them and the tax base will increase in shitty places like Indiana and Texas. Now, long term, I think that works against them because when you get a lot of blue people moving to their states, they just make them purple. But short term, what that does is commercial real estate, you're going to see a dramatic decrease in commercial real estate occupancy rates in a lot of these cities. And so if you're looking at, if you're looking at REITs that have a lot of holdings in commercial that are thinking sometime in March and April, you're going to see a comeback. I think you might actually see a big decline there. The other thing I think you're going to see a continued decline in is energy, right? If Donald Trump wins, we're not getting out of COVID anytime soon. So that means, energy demand is going to remain low. So things that correlate with energy demand, like inflation, are going to remain low. Productivity is going to remain low. So we're going to stay in some of these overcrowded trades a bit longer. That's, those are some of the things I'm thinking about if we wake up tomorrow and we're not going to know tomorrow who's president, but if we wake up in a couple of days and find out that Trump is president again.
Very somber moment. So with that being said, because I'm hearing a lot of exhaling that's taking place over here. So
we need a Black Twitter break.
Yeah, so Jolene wanted to do something special also and talk about what Black Twitter may be talking
but
about.
I don't see anything
Twitter.
popping off yet though.
Yeah, I think it's a little too early for the party on Black Twitter.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wait, y'all.
Okay. So let's take a look at the futures market, shall we?
Yes.
So let's just do simplefinance.yahoo.
Make sure y'all like the video too. Everybody that's in the chat right now, go like the video real quick.
Yeah,
Whoa,
share it.
is anybody seeing this?
What?
NASDAQ futures are up 111 points right now. Though that Dow futures are down by 99. Are you seeing that on your side, Antoine?
Yep. That's a tech play. And to me, that might be that could be, that could mean a lot of things. That could mean people are piling in the tech stocks because we're going to be in COVID for a while, or that could mean that, we're not going to have to deal with whatever this BS, antitrust regulation is around censoring conservatives. I don't know. I think the safe money is in tech right now. So if you're uncertain, put your money in Amazon. No matter who wins, they're making money. I don't know what to make of that. You know what I mean? Broader economy decline, tech increase. That can go either way. It's so complicated right now.
Are y'all holders of XOY? Anyone on this?
Yeah. I am.
Of course, of course.
Birthday.
Clearly.
I'm not either sold out of mine.
Yeah.
You sold out of yours?
I sold out of mine at a pretty. It was up there. I had to leave. I had to go. But
Are you getting back in?
if I do get back in, it won't be until actually
After the dust settles.
it's possible, but XLY is not. They're not on my trade plan right now.
Okay.
I think another reason why people might be getting into technology is because they think if Trump wins, the taxes won't go up on C corps.
Mm.
So maybe they're feeling like the tech companies won't be hurt as much. Just a thought. And then some of those companies had already pulled back so far. Like I was looking at Amazon the last couple of days, and like they're in great buying levels. So maybe people are feeling like without the uncertainty after the election, it's the time to buy.
Yeah, but Dow futures are just getting crushed right now.
That's only
Well,
45. It's not too bad.
Right now?
Right.
Right, like this. So let's try to see if we can put it out over an interval of, let's say, 1 minute so far.
Yeah.
Today
So
they were up at 1.700, right? The Dow.
yeah.
So
just to point out something, Jolene, if we look at the XLY after this, it's having a similar double bottom pattern, similar to what we were seeing here. And this is just like 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock, so that's just random noise. But like it's having that period, which is usually a bullish signal. But you know, I question that. I really do question that. Like, I wonder if, you know, what we're going to be seeing here is really a collapse of consumer confidence over the next couple of weeks because of uncertainty around the election. If Trump is behind and he takes it to court and we don't know who the president is, then they're not worried. They're not talking about a stimulus plan. If we can test this election for 3 months, we're not getting stimulus checks. That means no, the stimulus checks need to go out now if people are going to be spending for Black Friday. Right? If you really wanted to stimulate the economy, get a great Q4 pop, stimulus checks needed to have been cut. So we kind of missed that boat. So I do kind of wonder if, you know, maybe it's not a good time to get short of XLY.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's heating up, y'all. All right. So Jay, what are you thinking over there? Because you got the marker in your hand. So when you have markers, you know how we do. When we have markers, we think. we're plotting.
No, I'm thinking no matter who wins, that the stimulus package has to come through sooner than later. They have to push that through. And if we're talking about XLY, and you guys know how I feel about XLY, that stimulus should be a big bump, at least in that beginning phase. So no matter what, we should be looking at a good December, but the dust still hasn't settled after that. And we really don't know what the repercussions of what another Trump presidency looks like. I think tech will be a stronghold, as it has been. But then everything else kind of goes up in the air. Amazon's going to make money. I have bets on Tesla to still make money. I think your NVIDIAs will still survive as well. But yeah, it's kind of like, where do you go, essentially? I think XLY will run out of time eventually, going to Antoine's point. And I don't know where you go outside of tech, honestly. I'm rooting for
tech and consumer discretionary. I mean, you could run to slightly industrials, and I think that would be the biggest question to find out exactly. Like, you know, is that also having a major impact on Dow futures right now? Given that there was a lot of bullish activity of what we saw early on.
Does industrials become a value play at that point, or are you thinking for a growth play?
I think of that as more so for like individuals that are looking to jump in I definitely see them looking at that. Oh, by the way, it's looking like Joe Biden will officially take one of the states from Donald Trump, which is
Which one?
Colorado.
Which one?
Colorado.
Yeah, we need.
Before we move on to industrials, I do want to ask Tevo, because Tevo, you all have been doing these sector Sundays, and I know y'all cover consumer discretionary.
Yes.
Was there any insights that the cousins had that you wanted to share that maybe that we haven't covered or most people haven't heard yet?
I mean, consumer discretionary, they did go over it very in depth. Coach Head and her team did a very good job. They were real prepared. You know, the presentation was very nice. But they did go over just how the fourth quarter is really the best time for consumer discretionary. So,
yeah,
you know, it's going to be interesting to see if we don't get the stimulus, how that's going to affect consumer spending. Whereas if we do get the stimulus, you know, that might be a little steroid shot for the consumer discretionary this December, you know, January months coming up.
Now, are you in XLY or any of those companies?
Yeah, I was hesitant, but I did grab me an XLY. It was looking kind of nice sitting there on the shelf, so I had to pick it up and pass it off. Put it in my pocket real quick, you know.
Lillie, what about you? Oh, I'm sorry, Teri.
Okay.
I have XLY, but I do have a question. So if you think Q4 is when it's a good time for it, are you then assuming they need to report those earnings and then Q1 of next year it would run up, or are you expecting it to run up while people are shopping?
Are we talking about for
XLY?
I guess like Amazon or Dollar, any of those companies.
I mean, you got XLY, you have Best Buy, you also have Walmart, which they stand to do very, very well. Now the question is, what's going to happen with your Starbucks, your McDonald's, your Home Depot, your Lowe's? I mean, Home Depot and Lowe's is kind of like, okay, it's cold outside, so I mean, you could buy some things from there, like generators and stuff like that, depending on certain things in weather.
But you're not going anywhere.
Anymore. So
they used to have to like shovel out your driveway and shovel the street. You
don't
stay
need that.
inside.
You got to make a little pathway for your Amazon delivery.
that is true, because I mean, you wouldn't want them to be like, yeah, you didn't shovel this. Yo, since they want to shovel this for me, yo, take that. So,
Come get it yourself.
an interesting thing I wanted to point to everybody though is it's actually been declared as South Dakota is, or North Dakota is Donald Trump, but look at the votes.
Wow, that's tight.
That's tight.
Very close.
You know, so sometimes it's just like,
How'd they call it?
Wait,
How are they
Mark,
calling that?
Mark, this is not counting the mail-in votes?
I think it is counting the mail-in votes, because a lot of
these states don't count the mail-in votes. A lot of these states won't count the mail-in votes till later.
Yeah.
well, then that can play a huge impact as well. So, but
And on South Dakota for yours.
it depends upon the jurisdiction though, because some jurisdictions are more heavily weighted than other jurisdictions.
Okay.
You know, I just wish that we just go by a simple popular vote.
Me too.
It's like, you know, all those in favor say aye.
Wait, did we answer Lily's question for first quarter or fourth quarter?
Here's my thing. I'm taking XLY in the fourth quarter because one, it's like, you know, we're still technically in correction territory for a lot of things. So it's like I'm getting those pretty cheaply. And then especially if I'm taking on, if you're playing the short term, just for say, for example, Q1 or Q4 reporting, then that's a whole nother situation. But if you're looking at it as a buying opportunity for moving forward for the 2023s, it's a little different.
Look, I was gonna say, as an XLY connoisseur,
Okay.
I was definitely gonna say, if you're already in XLY, you definitely hold it through this fourth quarter, and then whatever you want to do with it after that, may the force be with you. But fourth quarter is definitely its time to shine.
I think you put some put options on as a hedge.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think you put some put options on to protect your downside just in case. But I think, you know, follow the smart money. The smart money is going to start piling in to XLY early December based on this alternative data, right? So like, by the time we find out and they do reporting in Q1, the smart money's already going to be in. You're going to see that XLY trending up because people are buying 100,000 plots and shares of the underlying stock. So, I think you have a smart play. I think you look at what the floor might be. You set a put option below that, and then you try to ride it out. It might cost you some on the upside, but if it's a blowout market, which it's not gonna be, because you still have 7 million people unemployed, you can't do anything. Even if you gave them $1,200 check, they're not gonna go spend on Xboxes when I know I got friends that are engineers that are unemployed, right? So it's really starting to creep up in that white collar space. United Airlines, American Airlines just did massive layoffs. Yeah. There was just a merger between two big companies, and there was a lot of white collar layoffs there. I think Morgan Stanley acquired TD Ameritrade. You saw a lot of layoffs there. So I mean, people spending is gonna be down this season, other than luxury, right? Which is why I own LVMH. That's never gonna take a hit. But
shameless plug there for LVMH.
I'm still a bit concerned though about coronavirus cases going up. I feel like not enough people are thinking about that. So I'm a little concerned it's going to be a little bit like a 2018 where we all thought there would be a Christmas rally, but it didn't happen. And so like if more coronavirus cases are coming, more people are getting sick, they actually won't be able to spend the way that they were before, maybe still on Amazon, but like Christmas will be a little sad because you're having to spend for other things like healthcare, medicine, layoffs, furloughs. So I'm not quite sure that I'd be wanting to go towards discretionary right now.
Well, I'm looking at when you look at the COVID cases increasing, I also want to know how the hospitalization numbers are. Like, are those numbers staying stable where people are maybe getting sick, but they're not getting so sick that they need a hospital bed and ventilation and all that stuff? So I'm wondering like what that number is looking like too, as you mentioned that, I wonder.
Yeah, it seems like from some recent news, the hospital bed numbers were increasing, but the ventilators not as much. They weren't getting as sick, but they were still getting sick.
Yeah, and we already don't have enough hospital beds.
So we have our first turn as it pertains to the Senate. We actually have the incumbent Gardner for Colorado is projected to lose to Hickenlooper. Yes, I said it. It's not shown up on the screen yet, but I'm probably sure it will be reflected. But we're reporting 30% reported, but 60%. So we're gonna probably see the first red state turn for both Trump as well as for the Senate seat. So we'll probably see that change fairly soon.
What state was that?
This is for the state of Colorado.
Okay.
We're also looking at, I don't really think that we have anything else currently right now as it pertains to upset alerts. But yeah, outside of Colorado.
The two big things there is that with 13% of the voting, that's not a lot. Joe Biden is kicking Donald Trump's ass in Pennsylvania. And we need Pennsylvania. So that's good.
Yeah, it's 62% Biden and 37% Trump. Though that they're saying that we still haven't gotten into the southern part of Pennsylvania, which is they project that to be Donald Trump, where it's heavy. His heavier run-ups are, but the north is ultimately should be controlled by Joe Biden.
And with 65% voting, we're seeing Biden ahead in Ohio, which is huge.
Were you about to say King of the North? Really?
Wait. What was Antoine saying?
I was saying he's ahead in Ohio with 65% of the voting. That's big.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's really lighting up a lot of red though currently, but a lot of those places, like for example, Franklin County, Delaware County, it's really Franklin County where Joe Biden has taken that, and that was actually where Donald Trump won big last time. I guess I can show it up on the screen because for folks that are trying to follow along. So the biggest question is what's going to happen Let's looking for some of those larger votes. So here we have, I can never pronounce it.
Goyaoga. I don't know.
Sure. So
Okay.
if somebody wants to do the phonetic spelling in the YouTube chat, then please go ahead and let us know. We just don't know. Joe Biden is also in Hamilton County. So a lot of the places, Franklin County, Joe Biden, so he won big. So this can be huge because this is going to be essentially the second state, if this holds, that we see that pretty much, because Donald Trump has now lost Colorado. If we see Ohio and Pennsylvania turn blue, it's over.
Do you think Biden will contest this if Trump wins?
I think if there's a small margin then yes, you could, because of the fact that there's some questionable activity or whatever. But knowing Joe Biden, if he loses, he's probably gonna say, hey, I lost.
Plus the Supreme Court. If it goes to Supreme Court, 3 of them were elected in by Trump. So it wouldn't really help him to contest it because they get to decide, right?
Yeah. Donald Trump is officially taking South Carolina, and we already knew that he was going to take Alabama, though that he's taking it probably in the districts in which that really where it mattered. Georgia, it seems like he's going to take Georgia. Mississippi, he's going to take that. Louisiana, he's going to take that. Which is
flip later. I think a lot of these places could flip later as we start to get the mail-in vote in a couple of days, especially because Jamie Harrison was polling ahead by a couple points in South Carolina. I can't believe we can call it on the night, but also they might cheat. I mean, we got to realize that the Republican Party has been cheating this entire time. They tried to throw out ballots in Texas because they were driving. They tried to take 100,000 people off the rolls. Republican mailmen in Pennsylvania were literally throwing out mail-in ballots. They've just been cheating this entire time. So
we could be seeing another upset alert, by the way. Another upset alert coming out of North Carolina, where a Republican senator can be replaced by Cunningham. It's very, very close. It's very close in North Carolina.
Quick question. This is for Dr. Flowers. Malik wanted to know, he said his son is 16 years old and he's looking to get into data science. And they would like you to go into a little more detail of your educational path or recommended study path for someone pursuing data science.
And tell them to hit me up on LinkedIn, send me a message, and I'll set up some time and we can wrap. But really quickly, it's about statistics and computer science. So learn how to code and start with your probability theory and move your way up to experimentation and statistics. So love to talk to them more about that. Would love to get more people of color into the field. It's a passion of mine. I'm creating some data science curriculum right now in a boot camp that we're rolling out here in 2021.
Dope. So Malik, the fortune is on the follow up. Make sure you follow up Antoine Flowers on LinkedIn.
Did you see that?
Mm-mm.
What?
Joe Biden is just taking the lead in Wisconsin.
Wow.
He's also leading. Antoine's like that uncle, like, yeah, that's my boy.
No.
He's also leading in 56% to 42% in Illinois.
Okay.
Hey, Chicago, come on.
Where a lot of these places, Donald Trump was the incumbent. So, and then also he's killing it in Minnesota. Though that's only 70% reported, or it's only 7% reported, but Joe Biden 70%, Donald Trump 29%. That's interesting. And then in Nebraska, they're in a dead heat tie.
Yeah, look how close those votes are.
With a 29%. So a lot of folks are probably like, hey, share the screen.
Oh, sorry, I keep thinking they see it.
You know what? I'm going to just leave it on here.
Okay.
I'm going to just leave it on here. So as we can see in Minnesota, again, only 7% reported. Wisconsin, this had changed because actually Joe Biden was losing at the 48%, but then apparently there was just a new inflow of votes that came through. So I'm probably guessing, yeah, so I think it's still too early to call. Where are these votes coming from? So yeah, that's where it's Dane County. And then these are the other counties: Milwaukee County and what?
Were you about to say Wakanda?
No.
That county.
No, definitely not. Absolutely not.
They're not counting that vote, Terry.
Oh, okay, because you know that would be.
Yeah, we would be good. We would be good.
Joe Biden looks like he's starting to pull away in Pennsylvania, and he's still holding it in Ohio.
Yeah.
Maine, Trump is still winning, and Joe Biden is winning in New Hampshire. Now, here's the thing to keep in mind. A lot of these states were taken by Donald Trump in the 2016 election. Just want to put that out there. So
A lot of red on that screen though.
yeah, but these are all the places which we knew that he would get. The parts that we didn't know is like, for example, Wisconsin, Minnesota. I mean, Nebraska. No, I did not expect this one to be in a dead heat.
Or
Yeah.
Texas.
I thought Nebraska was
Definitely
solid.
didn't expect that.
Kansas. I mean, we expected that one to be red. Texas. I mean, it looks like it's starting to.
Slowly go Trump.
Well, it's 1%. I think that we're probably going to see this change to about 50%. When we look at Texas, we're still looking at like a lot of the places haven't been reported, but you have all these small areas. So
That area near the border tends to be Democratic. We still got some votes coming in there, but
you don't have Brewster County as well.
I think he's lost because you need the areas around Dallas and around Houston to go blue. But Mark, if I could ask you a question from a VC perspective, man, where are all the election security startups, right? Like we keep hearing about this election interference. We keep hearing about, misinformation on internet, on Facebook, on Twitter. I mean, there has to be an AI startup out here somewhere saying
They are, but they're still in their infancy though. And that's the problem. They're very much so in their infancy. And it's kind of hard to like even quantify that, that essentially like to put them in such a realm like this. I mean, the closest thing that you probably actually have that's probably AI power that can even, do something of this magnitude would probably be the big three still. The power of Google, the power of Amazon, AWS, but AWS isn't really AI, isn't that strong AI focused in the cloud. So it would really be between Google and Microsoft.
What about Palantir? I think I would love to see Palantir step in this space.
They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. That essentially a lot of it, like, it's funny because Palantir is like this major, or it's not major, but it's this publicly traded company, and a vast portion of its revenue is government contracts. Who would have thought a small company that is a contractor went public? Let that sink in.
I mean, but it was run by juggernauts in the valley, so you knew it was coming because that's how they have to exit. That's what they do, right? They get all their money.
Especially since they're working on that police contract, where they can pull up information on your license plate and be able to track where is it that you've been. That's not scary at all. Okay, so I'll just leave that alone.
Yeah.
I'll just leave that part of the comment. Like, I just noticed like everybody's facial expression kind of just like, Mark, we don't want to hear it. So
It got gloomy.
let's move on.
Let's take a break and talk about again where the super chat dollars are going. We have people that just came on.
Yes. So Lillie?
No, Mark, you go ahead.
Lillie, we need your voice in the space.
We do.
My voice has been in this space. Mark, go ahead.
All right. So shout outs to Ebony. She's a member of TVD Wealth Generation, as well as
Trade and travel student, go Ebony.
as well as a fellow
Yes,
come up
she is.
and she is going through a time right now that is focused towards her health. She will be having a procedure, I think, as it pertains to brain, and we are definitely praying for her speedy recovery, as well as her to, of course, fight this and beat this, and we know that she will. And a vast portion of that is just our way of saying that, hey, we are thinking about you. I mean, even though that we are not around you, doesn't mean that we are not with you in spirit. And so your super chat dollars this evening goes to support one of our very own. And that's to you, Ebony. Shout out to you.
Virtual hugs.
Virtual hugs.
And the best part is that Mark is going to match every single super chat dollar. So y'all, I don't care if it's $1, $5, get in there, run it up, run it up.
Let's go, people. Yes. See, this is the new way to do a what's that when you give money, you do the GoFundMe? New way to do GoFundMe.
Yeah, pretty much. By the way, Teri, are you on Clubhouse?
No, what's
We got to send her an invite.
Yeah.
Can somebody please send Teri an invite to Clubhouse?
Yeah, who has some invites?
I do not.
I don't have any.
What, you send them on Instagram?
I got you.
Oh, you're about to get an invite.
Okay, thank you, Tevo.
Yeah.
What do you need from her, Tevo? Or are you just gonna send it to her via Instagram?
Yeah, just hit me on Instagram or something. You know, I got a whole little organization going. They was telling me I was giving Harriet Tubman vibes today.
Yo, Antoine, are you also on Clubhouse, brother?
Bro, I'm not on Clubhouse, and you know what? Don't even waste the invite on me, man. I'm doing I try to stay away from the social media. My phone's on do not disturb like 3/4 of the day right now, so I'm missing out on a lot of great convos. I know though.
You are, especially when some of those fireside chats with Andreessen Horowitz.
Hey, but you know what? I actually ran into some cats from Andreessen Horowitz when I was at the Warriors game.
Was it Chris?
He got courtside tickets. No, I actually haven't rapped with Chris Lyons yet, man. I know he's in the circle. I keep hearing his name, but so here's the thing, and I'm gonna take a detour really quickly.
Go for it.
For somebody that I was in the Bay, so shameless plug. One of the companies that I'm starting right now is focused on entrepreneurship, but not tech entrepreneurship. I really want people to know that the only type of business in the world is not going through some VC who doesn't really care about your business, who just wants to ram you down Wall Street's throat to make money out here. You know what I mean? You don't need to go that route. Like I really am focused on the everyday investor, the everyday entrepreneur, showing people how business models work in a way that allows, all of us to become wealthy, and it doesn't require access to venture capitalists in San Francisco. So that's kind of my focus. So yeah.
Can you touch on your boot camps too?
So absolutely. So, I love teaching, right? When I finished my PhD, one of the things that I really wanted to do was get back and really start creating curriculum. But the problem is it doesn't pay any money. So I couldn't go into academia, right? I went to become a quant, then I went to become a data scientist. And so now, over the years, I've done some like guest lectures at Stanford on data science. Last year, I created a boot camp for Spelman. Taught a 3-week boot camp for Spelman students throughout the summer. And a couple HBCUs reached out to me and said, hey, we'd love for you to create, a curriculum around data science, data analysis for our students that are in the sciences. And so, at that point, I connected with a good brother and Tuskegee grad out in Seattle, who actually already has a media studio and some capabilities around that. He'd run a boot camp for 6 years, and he really just reached out to me and said, hey man, like if this is what you're doing, let's put some licensing around it. Let's really scale this up. And so I partnered with him and
Can we get a name? Can we get a name?
Do I know this
I'm gonna put his name out there because he's kind of a big deal. You know what I mean? I don't want to do him like that, but it'll come out and it'll be announced. And we
I know who it is.
So I'm creating
all right.
both for undergrad science students as well as people in the field now that want to get into data science. Although there's a ton of boot camps out there for people that want to get into data science.
Do you have anything on the high school level or anything younger?
No, actually I do. I got some really top secret sauce cooking for the high school.
You need to be in Clubhouse.
It's
you really do.
It's focused
out here.
Relevant, right? So I'm creating this thing called Starlight Bang, where I got some cats that are that are dope music producers, dope graphic designers. And what we're actually doing is getting back into the edutainment thing. Like, what if Magic School Bus was produced by like Future and Chance the Rapper? Is kind of the direction that we're taking it right now. So we got a couple tracks in the works. We reading these story engineering books, getting the story together. We're figuring out how to make the curriculum immersive and blend in technology, AR, VR, things like that. Y'all got me spilling all my secrets, but I mean, that's what gets me excited, man.
No, it just sounds very familiar of what's been happening behind the scenes over Shay.
She's like, I ain't saying nothing.
Hey, look, hey, and Antoine, I caught so much heat for it. They was like, all right, if it works, let us hear the tracks. But look, coming down the pipeline, I'm listening to Antoine. I'm like, man, I'm calling this guy as soon as we get off the line. he sees the vision. He knows what it is.
It's gonna blow y'all mind, bro. It's
Well, here's my thing with it. Like my father was in education all of my childhood and teenage life. So I know the impact of education on people of color, specifically African Americans, and making it relatable to us, making it familiar to us, and making it fascinating to us is the easiest way to get us to excel faster. And so, like, that's why I wanted to be a filmmaker. One of the things that I saw in film was the ability to educate or to give a message. Also, while I can be whatever I want to be. If I feel like being a gangster today, I'm a gangster. If I feel like being a businessman, I'm a businessman. And I love what Antoine's able to do with education. It allows you to be whatever you want to be, and it's how you want to apply that knowledge to where you're going to go with it. So yeah, we're right on the same page, and that's everything that we're doing behind the scenes at the Come Up. So shout out to Antoine for seeing the vision. Straight up.
Cheers, mazel, all that.
How do we get a hold of him?
How do you get a hold of?
I got my info.
Yeah, I was the plug, Mark.
I'm loving this remote life. They ain't getting me back in the office, man. I've been hopping around.
I ain't going back.
You want to do? I come to Hawaii, shoot. Like when you free, you know what I mean? Like that's the best part.
Yeah, we were sitting on Clubhouse, and while we were on Clubhouse having a conversation, she's out there on a canoe watching the sunset.
It was during the day. It was rainbow.
This is you?
No, Lillie.
This is Lillie.
Okay, Lillie, I gotta come to Hawaii.
Please do. I'm trying to convince them to have the meetup over there.
Yes.
You know,
Hey, what's that word you be using?
Yes, ain't nothing but
Trade and
flight.
travel. Let's go.
Tevo been practicing his Hawaiian.
Yeah, what's that word you always be saying?
Mahalo. And
Mahalo,
and
yeah.
what-
Ooh,
Let's start
mahalo from
using
the
that.
hardest act to follow.
you were so disappointed when I told you what it was.
Yeah, because she kept saying it. I'm like, that sounds real exotic. Told me what it meant. That's basic. That's super basic. That's not even like no.
Okay.
It's not that exotic, y'all. Go Google Mahalo. It's not that exotic, I promise.
It is
okay,
exotic.
so let us check in to the election results. We are going to refresh the screen. We're also going to take a step back and look at futures. So futures, wow, Dow futures are down 300 points.
Okay, now it's something to talk about. But okay, wait. But real quick refresher. Last year when Trump won, it dropped real low, and then by the end of the morning, it was back up. So
Yeah.
Well, they said that Biden markets betting markets see Biden's lead shrinking.
yeah, I can see that too.
Yo, let's talk about, is there any, I've seen some people saying that there are shootings in wherever city they're in right now.
Yeah.
We need to check in on that.
A shooting?
What?
Yeah, just like unrest, people just
Already?
popping off. Yeah.
Jesus.
They shooting every day where I'm from, but
Tevo, you said that ain't nothing new for you.
yeah, I was gonna say they shooting every day where I'm from. It don't matter if it's election or not. But we'll keep it focused. I ain't gonna steer y'all too off track.
We'll save that for the clubhouse.
That's demon time right there.
Oh,
Oh God. Oh God. Okay, coming back to Ohio.
Back to Ohio.
Wait, did Tevo just freeze?
They was laughing too hard. Yeah, stop.
All right, so we got Ohio at 50%. Pennsylvania, it's still holding up, but it's starting to get a little close.
Yes, real close.
So we're getting a lot of the early reporting in from pretty much a lot of the, some of the early poll results.
We did refresh, y'all. We're saying refresh. So we just did.
We just did. Yeah, so we refreshed just for everybody to know. Biden still holds the lead by 1%.
Maybe scroll up so they can see the numbers at the top.
Still at 89. Let's look at the Senate. So lost 1 seat, gained 1 seat. So again, it's not always just about the presidency. It's also about the Senate and the House.
Yeah.
So we still have, really nothing for, it's been pretty much the same across the, if you already originally had your seat, then you're pretty much A-okay for now. Then we got to look at governors. It's pretty much looking the same across the board. I mean, though that we have Governor Inslee being contested right now in Washington State. So that should be fairly interesting.
Do y'all like him?
I mean, I thought that he did well with handling the virus.
Yeah.
I think so too.
I think he did a good job, and just off the strength of that, like I don't know who the other person is.
I think it's Culp or something like that.
Oh no, absolutely not. Jay Inslee better win.
So let me ask you a question. If Trump wins, what does this say about polling? And why has polling been so wrong? Because according to this, it shouldn't even be close in Michigan. Shouldn't be close in Michigan. It shouldn't be close in Wisconsin.
Well, keep in mind, we're also dealing with a lot of early voting. So we're looking at, this is not even, that's Senate. So
someone's saying that ABC is not really updating to another site.
Well, we shall go ahead and
Shameless plug, Google actually has, if you just type in election results in Google, they have them directly from the AP. And using that.
Pulling it up now.
So you're
No, that can we get this full screen now, Google?
Can you share?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
To your question about polling, though, I wonder sometimes if that's a tactic used by like one party to try to get their party to vote. Like, I was wondering if maybe the polls were saying Biden would win so that Republicans would go out and secretly vote, and it'd be like a party cry. But I don't know. I don't know if you can fix polls as well.
So we're also looking. So here is Politico. So currently, so this is a bit more accurate. The only problem with Google is just that theirs is like too miniature. It's like a card. Like we're on Google now.
Yeah.
Let's look at CNN and see if they have the actual map too.
Do we really want to do that? Because they're already in the process of updating right here. We even get the bar graph.
I just like that map though.
You said what?
I like the map, the visual of the map.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Data.
There you go. Does that help?
Yes.
Okay.
It does.
It does.
So Illinois has been officially projected to be taken by Joe Biden. Yes, I shall zoom in. There we go. Let's see. North Carolina is, wow, that's close.
Wow.
That is very close.
Ooh, dang.
New Mexico has been taken by Biden. Minnesota is still holding Minnesota with 30% of the voting. Huh?
If New Mexico was Biden, that might mean Biden won.
New Mexico was originally the incumbent was Donald Trump, and it's now been overtaken by Joe Biden. So the current votes right now, because how many electoral votes are there in California? So that's 55, 7, 12. What is that? Arizona's 11. Utah. So yeah, where it really comes down to is like, for example, Texas, 38. So Pennsylvania is now, it's at 22%. Donald Trump has now overtaken Ohio. So he has the lead here. Alaska, 3 votes. Hawaii, 4. So he's definitely getting in these red states, but again, still a little too early to call.
How many counties do we have still waiting in Ohio?
That is a good question. Let's look at Ohio.
Why they have to have that so
So
big?
pretty much, in what?
Donald Trump is leading in Ohio.
Oh. So pretty much in all the major areas, like the major counties, Joe Biden is winning. He's winning big in Franklin County. Dayton County, he's winning. Cincinnati, he's winning. Athens County. Akron.
75% of the voting, we can just assume is going Donald at this point. It looks like the cities are in 2% down, 3% down. That's a hard comeback.
Mm-hmm.
When they do polling, do they do polling in big cities? That might also be one of the reasons why it was
I just want to know why their polls like so random now.
Yeah.
You know, they got Biden ahead 10 points in this race, and right now it's like, yo, neck and neck.
But he's currently leading by 38 electoral college votes.
That's not a close.
So currently right now, I'm probably guessing that these are like the next states on the West Coast. And then these are the, like, he's going to have to possibly flip, but it's still projected that he will, what is it? It's projecting that he will still win. Uh-oh. What we got joining the stage? What? It is. What's good, brother?
My guy just got out the trading room. I am exhausted. How you guys feeling?
I'm all right. We saw the futures market moving.
Man, oh man, I'm ready to get this nap in. Hold on, let me. So I don't think I'm over here.
Nasdaq futures are still up 167 points.
Yeah. I didn't want to stand you up tonight, so I want to come in real quick while I take this nap, even though my adrenaline been going crazy. Teri, how you doing, Jolene? How are you doing, Queen?
Hey.
Oh, by the way, so there's some faces that you don't know. There's Che, and then you met Che, and then there's also Dr. Antoine Flowers, who's here with us, who's a data scientist at Google.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Have you met Lillie before?
No, I have not.
Well.
Hi, Ian.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Hey, we already know.
Big bro.
Of course, of course. I want to check in real quick with you, brother. How you feeling? What can I do to help you?
So we're just looking at, if you can, keep us up to date as it pertains to futures, but we're really just looking at the maps right now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna take me a little like hour or two now.
I did kind of share the link, so it's available. Oh, okay. All right.
Got you. I'm gonna recharge and come back.
All right, brother. Go take a nap.
Love y'all.
Bye.
Bye. Wait, did we say we're only saying until 7:30, right? We might have to take a break, okay?
We may have to take a commercial break, like, because This dude's starving.
Hey, real talk.
I'm on a like texting my DoorDash because my food was supposed to be here 30 minutes ago. Turns out that it's closed. So now I'm quite upset about that situation.
Man, that'd be bad.
Don't mess with a person's food, especially on election night.
Tragic.
So it's looking like Joe Biden is going to take New Hampshire. So he's pretty much done what he needed to do up here in the Northeast. Pennsylvania, though, has turned Donald Trump, though.
What?
What happened? No.
Well, it's still early. I mean, keep in mind, that's with like
They have mail-in votes too.
they have 25% of the vote counted. So I mean, it's so amazing. Like, how is it that it's taking so long for these votes to come in? Like, we need to come up with a better voting system.
Well, that's what Dr. Flowers was talking about.
I think that, well, we don't. Oh, so by the way, Biden is officially. Oh, I'll let the.
Yeah, we just be.
Let's just show it.
We'll be sharing.
Antoine.
Antoine's still thinking about his.
He's still thinking about his DoorDash.
And that's with 48% of the vote in, by the way.
No, if he wins Arizona, so if he won New Mexico and he's winning Arizona, that basically eliminates. Trump had to carry all the Sun Belt states. He had to carry Utah, he had to carry Nevada, he had to carry Arizona, he had to carry New Mexico. Had to. And if he lost those, now look, if he carries Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, and Wisconsin and Florida, then he still has a way forward. And I can't understand what the Democrats are doing wrong that we can't win any of those states. You know, I just, that confuses me. Where is Philly? Come on, where is Philly? You know,
Let's look at Pennsylvania.
States with high density cities are gonna tend to be blue. But when you have smaller cities in sparse rural like Ohio, very hard to turn Ohio blue. Very hard.
That's a few blue areas that he still has that still haven't come in yet. So I'm probably projecting that this area here is going to be blue, probably here. Pittsburgh did its job though for the votes. 89. It's amazing. Pittsburgh only had 89 or roughly 100,000 or 110,000 people vote.
What's the population? Like, what's going on?
That's the crazy part. So. Yeah, we're still waiting on results. So when we look at size of victory, yeah, he did what he was supposed to do, but we still haven't had all the votes come in. It's just the little trickling areas that are pretty much spotty here and there in the smaller counties. But he did take Erie County, which is interesting. So, yeah, we don't.
So what are you guys gonna do if you do see a Trump win tomorrow? Like, what would your very next step be tomorrow?
I'm gonna fall on my face and pray.
On your face, though?
On your face?
I prostrate. Seriously.
Okay.
Business as usual.
Yeah, I was gonna say stay in my tech stocks.
Stay the course.
Over here, around these parts.
Yeah.
I'm gonna work out too.
Yeah, we got work out in the morning. Wonder Twin Towers active.
About to be in shape, y'all.
Where you can work out?
I have a gym in the garage.
Okay.
Monroe Manor is one of the safest places that you can ever be. Like, you don't even have to leave.
Harry, what are you going to do tomorrow if Trump wins or if Biden wins? What kind of...
I'm on vacation. Okay, I'm going to hang out with them. But then I'm on vacation. So I said this week, I'm probably not going to trade. I'm sure I'm going to feel a little bit of FOMO if the market like moves big one way or the other.
How many times have you been thinking about a trade since we've been looking at the futures market?
A little bit, like at least 3.
Okay.
Mhm.
I won't trade if you don't trade.
Deal.
Okay.
No.
Are you strict about that?
Huh?
Are you strict about that? On vacation, you won't trade, like you're off the market?
No, honestly, so I traded today. I sold some stuff. I think the bigger thing is that I don't trust it, and I don't want to be guessing. And I think this week will be a lot of just guessing. You won't be, you know, like it won't be technical analysis as usual. The market will probably do some things that go against what the chart says. So I just rather let it calm down and then make good decisions. So we'll see what happens after tonight.
So Terry, are you talking about like letting the VIX go back down somewhere lower than 25 kind of vibe?
It's more like tomorrow, if the market drops real big or if it rises real big, we just don't know where it will go.
I
So
agree.
it's just more so I want to give it a couple of days. Like even after earnings, I like to kind of give a stock a couple of days to breathe before I get back in there. So that'd be what I'd be doing with the whole market, kind of just giving it a couple of days to breathe and then go back.
Just as a heads up, the NASDAQ futures are up 196 points.
I got them up 200 on my end.
You said they're up?
202 for 202.5?
Yep, you got it. Okay, it's just fluctuating. Yeah, the NASDAQ futures are up right now, even though the Dow futures is down.
Interesting. I'm probably guessing that industrials right now are getting crushed.
Wonder, can we see? Yeah, we can see the companies that are up.
So we're seeing it in. Yeah, it's not that well, but then it's fluctuating now. It's because now Dow futures are only down by 80 points. What do they know that we don't know? Let's find out.
Back to Quiver Quant.
Oh, Montana. Montana just opened up. So
that's Biden.
Our polls on until 8 o'clock.
Biden's leading Montana.
Immediately light up. So when our polls close on the West Coast, you'll see Washington, Oregon, California just light up. So this could be very, very interesting because North Carolina is still, so for perspective, by the way, how you doing over there on the DoorDash, Antoine?
Is your food coming?
Oh.
You look hungry.
No.
Hey, disrespectful.
There's about to be some furniture moving over there.
We just moved here Sunday, so I have nothing. It's just me and this condo downtown, and like I don't even know where anything is. So I'm struggling. So you guys laugh at me, but you gotta remember I'm 2 hours ahead of you, so I'm like super hungry here.
Very
You
true.
know, if somebody's in Chicago, like
Please give him some food.
please get Antoine some food. Like Operation Get Antoine Food.
I'm in the South Loop, man. Come holler at me.
By the way, Joe Biden just took Virginia, but look at that. That's how did you take Virginia, but you're down?
Or yeah.
What?
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that don't make
Yeah.
We hold on, y'all. Pending. We're pending something. Let's go to.
You gotta refresh that.
We got to cross-reference and cross-check this. So, we'll go to Google.
Is it because he won the electoral vote that he took it, even though he lost the majority population?
No, because electoral doesn't it come up?
It reflects the electoral vote reflects the county, so we would have to see something going on in the county area. So NASDAQ futures are up 281 points, and S&P futures are up 23 points right now. This is whoa.
Someone says check Fox News.
That is not happening.
Well, I just want to see what they say.
Don't be biased, Mark.
Let's just see.
Yeah.
Let's
go
just
see
see.
all sources.
Okay, fine. We shall check Fox News election results.
Look
Look at that. They're like, nah, you're not getting my ad blocker removed. We ain't like that. We'll zoom it in. So 129, really?
Yeah, they got that's
This one
definitely
says
different.
131.
And the one
Yeah.
here's the 99.
Let's refresh it over here.
I'm doing that right now.
Still 99. So then we also have over here in Google. Google says 131 to 98. So
gotta stick with this.
yo, whose math is correct right now?
Google's math
They don't even know it.
Google's math is coming from the Associated Press.
Okay.
Right? So that's where they're getting that data from, and that's coming directly from the states. Now, my big question here is, who is and is not, when they say expected voting, are they talking about the mail-in ballots? Because everybody's been saying we're not going to get, everybody's been saying 60% of the vote, came before tonight even happened. So I'm really interested to see exactly how much of the vote is really going to be in tonight. But if we really take Arizona, I mean, he's getting his ass kicked in Arizona.
I just saw it. I was about to say, y'all seeing Arizona right now?
I am seeing Arizona.
Hey, and that's 70%. So they're 70% done with the vote there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I'm like, why can't we win Georgia? Like all these black people in Atlanta, why can't we win Georgia? Just one time for Outcast, man. Give us
See, this will give all the people on Fox a reason to say the election should be contested, because they're thinking there's like 109 votes versus we're over here thinking 99.
Well, they said 54% reported. 54% reported. Oh, I'm so confused right now.
They're giving it to me.
How? Did he get them in the counties that mattered? I think he did.
Mm-hmm.
Fox News is confusing.
They're confused.
Oh, is Fox News saying Trump won? Nope, not yet.
No, but they're saying that he's caught up, and Democrats lead in the Senate, by the way.
Hey.
By how much?
There's 3 votes, 43 to 41. Okay, come close. I don't want to do a live chat. I don't want them to talk to me. Okay, so Iowa, Biden. So the incumbent in Iowa is Donald Trump, but 14% of the vote in, still a little early to call, but geez. Why can't we just call it a New Hampshire?
Uh-huh.
Like, there's only 121,000 votes. Like, how many more votes? It's still very, very close in North Carolina.
90% expected vote in
Utah is currently, clearly that's. I think we're just waiting for the next 45 for this to just all light up blue. Do you know what would be crazy though? If California lights up red.
Mm.
Oh gosh.
Oh man.
Game over.
People like, Mark, don't speak that.
Right?
Hold on. Cancel the live. Cancel the live. We'll come back later. Yo, is Antoine a missing person?
He's checking out his.
He's looking for his food. I'm about to join him.
He's looking for everything.
No, he just moved there, so there's nothing
Right.
there.
I'm trying to brainstorm like what's in the South Loop. I know Harold's, but Harold's might be closed right now.
Yeah, they are all closed. They're like,
And
look,
Mark, they said the NASDAQ futures just got halted,
Oh,
yeah, because it's probably
moving too fast.
So I can see that. Yeah, I can.
Yeah,
definitely.
NASDAQ. Wow, 17, huh?
Wait, hold up. They're all up, but NASDAQ is just.
We got futures conversations happening right now.
Absolutely.
We're looking at the futures right now. The NASDAQ got halted.
I just think it's gonna reverse. Whatever it's doing right now, even if it goes all the way up tonight, tomorrow it'll come all the way back down.
I think it's because of the fact that he could take Arizona and Iowa. I think those are the reasons why.
Put some risk capital up. You got 5% in cash right now.
You said
Go
what?
ahead And whatever the trend is, play the reverse tomorrow with a tight stop. If you're right, you're right. You know, take a little vacation over the winter time. We can go to the cabin in Michigan.
Antoine, they're saying Art of Pizza is a place that's open in your area.
Art of Pizza, I appreciate it. I'm gonna check it. I ain't never heard of. See, Chicago, we got Aurelio's, Giordano's, Lou Malnati's. I haven't heard of Art of Pizza, but I'm gonna check it out. I actually just ordered some barbecue, so who knows when it's gonna get here.
Hopefully,
Yeah, you're gonna need to send me some Chicago style pizza, fam. Can you do that for me?
Yo, we can send it frozen, man. Whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Popcorn, can you please send me some Garrett's? I want
Some
some
Garrett's?
We were actually supposed to be in Chicago for a shoot, and then it got canceled.
We got Chicago food requests, man. That's what's up.
I want the Garrett's with the mix, a little extra cheese though, and then the caramel.
The exact order, though.
That was specific.
Co-signing this article.
Yo, they're co-signing it.
They're co-signing it. Someone said they got Jimmy John's, so they said they just got Jimmy John's. If you
That ain't it.
Not the math.
That ain't it.
Garrett's not the same. Right?
Look,
That's what I'm barbecue
what
is
does it
right.
say?
Why you got barbecue in Chicago?
That's just like a juicy. What is it? Dave Chappelle said, "Juicy Smollier." He said, "Hey, were you going out to go eat Subway sandwiches in Chicago?"
Yo, I'm a barbecue connoisseur. Y'all remember I went to college in Alabama.
Wait, so we got an XOY connoisseur and now we got a barbecue connoisseur. Are there any other connoisseurs that we have in here?
I mean, I feel like I'm gonna come up with something. Give me a second.
I'm gonna give a data science question, and whoever gets it right in the chat, I'm gonna send a bucket of Garrett's popcorn their way.
Wait, what about me? You just left me
Hey, he said in the chat. In the chat.
Terry. Questions.
I don't think that he's talking about our chat. I think he's talking about what's happening in the YouTube chat.
All right, what is it, Antoine?
I'm ready.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to type it out. I'm gonna type it out in the chat. I'm gonna let y'all put it in there.
Oh, so he wants us to put it out there. Wow.
Because it's like, we got these long questions. It ain't no simple. I'm gonna put it in there.
Somebody said Texas barbecue is undefeated.
Exactly.
It is.
Cosign.
I agree.
Well, what do you think about between Texas barbecue and South Carolina barbecue?
Oh, well, see, I haven't been to South Carolina, so I can't agree. Actually, have I been to South Carolina? Where is Duke? North Carolina?
Yeah.
North Carolina.
No, I haven't been to South Carolina yet.
Yeah, what food is North Carolina known for?
North Carolina is supposed to, don't they have good seafood? Randomly?
Even though they're on the coast, I don't think so.
Crickets.
Yeah. They probably cook good Southern food, like biscuits and gravy.
Somebody said South Carolina. Somebody or
I was about to say,
somebody said, what's South Carolina barbecue? I said the state of South Carolina. Don't they know for having good barbecue?
Tell us what North Carolina eats.
It says somebody said other barbecue isn't real barbecue.
Oh, Duke is in South Carolina. Okay.
Okay.
Wait, were you talking about the school, dude?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
It's North Carolina.
That's North Carolina.
Yep.
Oh, so somebody said South Carolina. I'm looking at the chat.
It's North Carolina.
That's North Carolina.
They're about to be in Come Up Cousins YouTube witness protection pretty soon.
Best answer gets a bucket of Garrett's.
Oh, so okay. Here comes the question. We're gonna drop it in the chat. So if you get it right, how should we do it? So how should we get it back to you?
Yeah, I guess just can we copy and paste their responses in the doc?
Oh no, this is a lot of chat. This is a lot of chat, man.
Can we
So how about
They
this?
have to find you on LinkedIn. They have to find you on LinkedIn.
Damn, we're gonna need to limit these characters because 296 over 200 character max.
When you send me a request on LinkedIn, have your answer in the request in the message box.
But you don't even be on social media like that. You should.
Yeah, you're taking a sabbatical right now.
sending you messages.
I will go. Look, I'm not saying I'm gonna get through these tomorrow. I'm gonna get through.
Okay. So we're sending everybody a 2-part question.
Hey, look, we interviewing on my team right now too. So if you get it right, I might give you a call.
Oh, wow. There we go.
Popcorn, and on top of that, you also get a job at Google, possibly.
Okay.
Antoine, you got to agree to get on Clubhouse.
What?
I'm not going to let that go until we get you on there.
No, I would love to be on Clubhouse, but ain't nobody invite me. I'm not cool enough. I'm not in the cool kids.
I just did.
Oh, really?
I'm sending you an invite tomorrow. Actually, right after this.
Hold up. Lillie, you got invites on the low?
Okay, why are we doing this right now?
No, because when I said Clubhouse, I just checked my Instagram DMs and it's in terrible shambles right now. It's looking like a whole party up in there. So
The DMs got flooded.
everybody knows she got her @ name on here right now.
I know you're not doing that right now. I've been helping you all day long. Are you serious?
No, I'm just playing. Lillie, that was her last invite. She ain't even got none left. I was just playing, y'all.
If y'all are on here though, please take a picture of like the screen and share it on your Instagram so we can get more people to like and follow this and tag all of us. Tag Jolene, Mark, I'm an investor, Tevo, tag everybody.
Yeah. So Antoine,
Lillie.
go ahead and tell the people what's your Instagram.
I don't know, man, because I'm used to, like I said, I'm just a guy from the South Side, man. I'm not
like Mark.
I'm not an influencer. I just be talking shit on my Instagram. It wouldn't be helpful to the people, I'm not giving stock tips and all of that. For my cousins, man. Add me on LinkedIn. That's where I say all the interesting stuff.
Okay.
Nice.
So this whole Virginia thing is like really playing with my mind right now. Because how is it that Joe Biden only has 45.4% of the vote? He must be having votes that are supposed to be coming from somewhere that,
It might be where the vote is coming from. 100% of the vote might be coming from, the places that we think are likely to go Trump.
It's over. It's over in Iowa.
Oh, Trump won Iowa? Trump was up 10 points in Iowa.
Huh?
Trump was up 10 points in Iowa, I thought.
Nope. So it's currently reporting that 19% has been reported, and Joe Biden is at 59 to 38.8. And Minnesota is still holding strong. I don't know what happened in Wisconsin. It just fell apart real quick. Ohio is starting to fall apart. Pennsylvania also starting to slightly fall apart.
Oh,
based upon still current trajectory, though.
Like Pennsylvania fell off a cliff.
But I don't think anybody saw this one coming. With 73% of the vote in now.
Ooh.
Now, keep in mind, this one's going to be huge because I think Donald Trump won California in 2016.
No. Donald Trump.
No, he didn't?
Heck no. Kelly?
No,
he did not. He did not. No, sorry. I misspoke.
How many more counties in Arizona?
Let's find out.
Joe Biden is one Arizona. Joe Biden is one Arizona. Joe Biden is one New Mexico. And that is big. That is big.
Oh, wow.
We still don't have Apache County, though.
Anyone Colorado.
Phoenix, he's taken Phoenix. Tucson, he's got Tucson. It's over.
Wow, that might be it. I mean, Trump might have carried the Midwest again, but if Joe Biden takes the Sun Belt from him,
it's over.
That might be all she wrote.
Because we're at 131.
Yeah, it's been stuck there forever, though.
Major battlegrounds are still for grabs, but they may not be called tonight.
Yeah, I think a lot of these states still have mail-in ballots. The good thing is the mail-in ballots favor the Democrats, right? Well, if we're behind somewhere, if we're behind in Pennsylvania and it's only behind by 2 or 3%, that favors the Democrats. Once they start counting those mail-in ballots, a lot of those mail-in ballots are going to be Democrats that voted weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then some states, I think Pennsylvania's one of the states, like their deadline for for counting all of the mail-in ballots is like after the fact. It's like after tonight. So we'll still be
postmarked by today. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you see happening to the cannabis sector, depending on who wins? Do you see any changes?
Good question.
I don't think cannabis sector.
The only thing that I think would help cannabis is if they said that it was like a cure for coronavirus.
Absolutely.
And I think all of a sudden people be like, wait, what? Really?
Let me find out.
It might be.
I don't think it matters. I think cannabis is a bipartisan legalization issue. I think cannabis is on its way to. I just think they got to get around to it. I think if coronavirus hadn't hit, we'd already be seeing cannabis legalization in the talks. I don't think there's much. I mean, who has it on the ballot this time? Mississippi has it on the ballot. By the time Mississippi gets around to having it on the ballot, then it's just like, yeah, all right, what are we fighting about?
Yeah.
Thanks.
You guys might see us moving around. We're just letting butter out.
Yeah.
The joys of being tall.
1 minute
So
until we take a break and come back.
where are we going?
We're going to eat.
Food. Yeah. We need a food break.
Gordon, we shall wait until the polls close.
Are you kidding me?
Okay.
No.
Like, remember, we can
take turns.
Yeah.
Polls haven't closed on
earlier.
What'd you say, Antoine?
Polls haven't closed on the West Coast yet? I thought they closed this 7.
And they close at 8, so they close in 30 minutes.
Teri, feel free to sit right here.
Okay.
Hey, the people was just asking to check the Senate real quick.
Peace out. Your girl gotta eat.
Wow. Totally for the cause, y'all. She'll probably went upstairs.
What are you guys having for dinner?
Salmon.
Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna pretend like I didn't eat then.
What's a Seattle thing?
I'm just kidding.
Nice.
So my wife made salmon tonight, and then my wife is also making oxtail.
Ooh, you got some oxtails, bro?
You're not invited.
Dang. But I live down this street.
That sound like a personal problem.
Oh man, disrespectful.
Hey,
I'm gonna have to brother man from the 5th floor, bro.
You had no food. You up here with salmon and oxtails.
look, y'all. I just had some Hershey's Kisses. I mean,
Dying. Look, I done ran out of water on the come up.
look, man. I told you, y'all need to stay hydrated.
I'm gonna go fill my water bottle up, Mark, and hunt for some food.
That
I'll be
water
back.
bottle. Okay, people need to see exactly how big this water bottle is, fam. That is a lot. How many gallons is that?
It's only 1 gallon. 1 gallon. You gotta get it in every day. Stay hydrated.
So
I'll be back.
Before we leave, we talked about what happens if Trump wins. What do we trade in the morning if Biden wins?
But we still got to think about taxes. So anything going to be hurt by taxes?
That's why we like trust funds.
I want to throw one thing.
That's why we like charitable trusts.
I want to throw one thing in the arena, and I don't know if a lot of you guys are familiar with this instrument, but I worked at this company called Nuveen Asset Management. And the biggest product we sold was municipal bonds. Municipal bonds are a tax shelter because if you buy what they call it high yield municipal bonds, they are high risk, but they are taxed. The growth and the capital gains are tax free because what you're doing is you're buying like city debt, state debt. So that those are the municipalities. And so if you invest in those, that your growth grows tax free. So a lot of high net worth individuals buy these muni bonds. Right now, muni bonds are at a lot of risk. They're really low, right? Because like all this debt, you're talking about, debt getting downgraded to B to C to junk bond status. Really take a look at the muni bond market, because if Biden wins, the states all of a sudden are going to get in, hundreds of billions of dollars of cash infusions.
So shoot it up.
Muni bonds, and that would be a really interesting play to take a look at.
Antoine, I got a question for you on that note. Do you like what they're doing at Barron Capital then? And like, I'm a Tesla guy. So do you like BPTRX as a municipal fund play?
I'm not familiar with BPTRX. Could you tell me a bit about it?
So in that one, Tesla holds about 40% of the position. And then it's followed by, let me pull it up, a couple other.
Who issues the bond?
Barron Capital.
Okay. And it's for a set of states. So this is a municipal bond in particular that you're describing.
No, I might be tripping because you're saying municipal bond, but they might be a municipal fund. And is there a separation between the two?
Well, yeah. So the fund would hold a number of these different instruments, right? And so
Right.
Just like any other mutual fund, this would just be a fund that holds mostly municipal bonds. I mean, honestly, as a part of your portfolio, I could see that. I could see that trade, especially if they're diversified. I could see that being, a way to go. You could also just target in on specific on ETFs or funds that have specific states. New York, Illinois, California cities have been really hard hit. You might get a really good opportunity for someone who holds a lot of blue state debt. We're gonna see a lot of fluctuations, but they've probably been a little high. Tonight they might be, they might be shaky right now. So if you get in the morning, you might be able to ride the pop.
Okay.
What's the return now on bonds though? We always hear that bonds aren't returning very much this year. Like, what's the return on that?
Well, so yeah, the bond yields are low, right? If you're going to hold the bond, and the whole point of the bond is to wait till expiration, the interest rates are going to be nil. But if you're trading the bond, right? So bonds have, the prices and then the coupon rates. So if you're waiting on coupon rates are low because everybody has that money in risk assets. But if you're actually trading the price of the bonds, that's what I'm talking about. I think the price of the bond is going to go up with more demand. A lot of people have been selling off, getting out of the bond market. Typically, there's an inversion between the coupon rate and the price, right? You get an inversion between the yield and price in the bond market. But right now, we've just been seeing people, legitimately flooding out, and states aren't really raising money right now because they're hoping for that debt. If Trump wins, then what you're going to see is yields go up because they have to offer higher interest rates in order to get more people to buy that debt. So that's why you get that inversion. It just hasn't happened yet. There's a bit of a delay between it.
I see. Okay. Thank you. That's a good play.
So just as a quick update, the current new numbers is 131 Biden, 109 Trump.
What does Fox say? Do they increase
Same
the
thing.
numbers? Okay.
It's the same. So the interesting thing is that what we saw in 2016 was pretty much all of this, including Nevada, lit up for Hillary Clinton. Whoa, that was new.
But then Hillary didn't get Arizona.
She didn't get
right?
Arizona or New Mexico. So that's interesting. So this is still, these two are still like too early to call. Florida, I think it's very, very close, but not really because we're at 91% of the vote. Michigan, I think Donald Trump is going to take Michigan. Wisconsin, I think Donald Trump is going to take, it's looking like he's going to take Wisconsin. Maine, he's going to take that one. He has this entire sweep through here.
What is Texas again?
Texas is still slightly close, but I mean that's a lot of votes to make up.
Moving away.
Mm-hmm.
4 more years, man. That's what it's looking like.
There's quite a few states that are still in toss-up though. So like I like this range where it tells you like, okay, these are most likely to win. So this is a huge range here.
That's a lot of toss-up, though. That's a lot. That's a lot of, that most likely could change.
Mhm.
I'm wondering when they say like it might not be called tonight, like when will it get called and who decides when it's called? Like that's the whole piece that seems shady.
Well, that's what Trump wants us to think, right? He wants us to think that it's, the fact of the matter is most states say they count absentee and mail-in ballots last. That was on the state books because most people didn't vote by mail. But now that everybody's voting by mail, usually they say, okay, if it's postmarked on today, you can count it. So that gives you 4 days from now to still be counting ballots. This is just a different year. And yeah, but I think the big thing is you're going to get most of the Trump counties tonight. So where Trump ends tonight, Trump's pretty much going to finish. A lot of the mail-in ballots are going to be Democrats. I say 3-1. So
as the futures have officially lit up again. So I think the trading has no longer halted on futures.
Were we up?
NASDAQ is up 3.3. S&P futures are up 1.5. Dow futures are up just a little bit, above 0.5%. Gold is down. Crude oil is up. Russell 2000 is up almost as close to 0.3% away from 1%. 10-year bonds are up. US and Japan or US Japan currency. Bitcoin is also up. And yeah. Asia and European markets, unless this was, the VIX is still sitting at 35. But is that where it closed at earlier?
I wasn't paying attention really.
Yeah, I think that's where it closed.
Well, after today, the VIX should go down. At least there's not as much uncertainty.
Yeah, so this was from today's trading. So the VIX hasn't moved. Yeah, the Che went to go. He left to go get something to eat. He's like, look, man, I need to go get my meal prep food. How you doing over there, Lillie?
Antoine, they didn't cut your barbecue order again, did they?
Nah, I don't think so. I think I actually got a notice that it's getting picked up. So I got some smoked wings, some smoked wings, and a salad, trying to keep it healthy. You know what I mean?
Is that an Android phone?
Okay.
That is an Android.
Yeah, it's a Galaxy S20. The reality is, while I love Macs, the laptop, I try to use iPhones, man. And
are you gonna get the new Mac?
It blows my mind. So I got a Mac for work. I am not gonna get the Apple Silicon because to be honest, man, laptops could have stopped being improved 3 years ago for the new specs. Like honestly, they do everything we need them to do. Everything is on the cloud. No more of the computational demand is on the actual laptop unless I'm editing video, which I'm not. So I don't need to upgrade to a $2,500 MacBook. I'm not a gamer, you know what I mean? Like the most demanding thing I'm doing is video chatting. So that's, yeah, I'm gonna stick with the old Macs and save my money.
So they've officially called Virginia for Biden. Biden is slipped by 10% in Pennsylvania. In Ohio, he is down, what is that? Just a little bit shy of 6%. Montana, he's taking, it looks like 22% of the vote in.
Dang, Trump came up 115.
Yeah, because he closed in on some of these blue states. So I think the last one that he'll probably take is probably Utah and Idaho.
So his numbers are moving, but Biden's not really.
Biden went up by 4.
Okay.
Let us all take a break. We shall be back, and we're all going to take a 5-minute break. Everybody, allow you to go get some hydration. We'll be back in a second.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody just, you know.
The woosah,
breathe a little bit.
Maybe walk away, go use the restroom.
So if you need to use the bathroom or anything like that, or go get your food, you know, we're gonna do that because I'm running empty as well. So we shall return. We'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.
We're not leaving. We'll just be right back.
Right.
We back. You on mute, bro.
We are back. We're back.
I tried to get a people's, a little solemn vibes.
Yo, where'd you get that from?
From YouTube.
Oh, okay. Is that like the royalty free?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nah, I had to. They was talking about playing Nipsey and all that. I'm like, y'all trying to get the line shut down.
That's not happening.
Yeah.
That's how your video gets taken offline.
Exactly.
Nipsey. If only we had the clearance, y'all. If only we had the clearance. Is this tipsy, Mark? No. It's just water. The Wi-Fi is LeBron James and the password's champion with a capital C. Yes, that's right. I said it. Somebody's like, give me your Wi-Fi password.
Dang, y'all are really hanging in there.
They should. We're here for election night. Speaking of which, let us check in. I think Joe Biden has taken officially Illinois. So there's that. Survey says, yep. Yeah, well, they just reported that he has officially taken Illinois. I'm just waiting for the polls to close on the West Coast. Light it up. Now, did you know that only 17% of the early votes are now counted in Michigan?
No, I did not know that.
So it's supposed to be up to 55% of the votes will be mail-in.
Oh, wow.
So this number is probably going to look a lot different.
Let's find out.
Mm-hmm.
At 8 o'clock, that's when the polls close.
On the West Coast, we have 8 more minutes.
Someone's like, how was the oxtail?
Not complete.
Yeah, it's not done.
It's being slow cooked.
Right? Me too, son. I want oxtails. That's the person. Okay. It's in the chat. That's the person in the chat.
Hey, what them oxtails they hitting right now?
Not yet.
My wife started making it tonight, so.
I know my brother texted me. He's like, I'm watching you on the show. What's up with them oxtails? I was like, dang. Everyone's coming for it. Good Lord. Yo, I don't see anything popping off on Twitter yet, y'all.
Oh, just wait. You gotta wait for the whole country to light up first.
Yeah. So y'all gotta wait.
So we got a few states. Welcome back, Lillie.
I'm back.
I'm probably sure that Antoine's eating his barbecue right now.
Yeah.
So NASDAQ futures are now at 412 points. Dow futures are up 229, and S&P futures are up 59 and a half.
You want me to put the glasses on?
Dang, NASDAQ keeps climbing. Good Lord.
Which one was down? I missed that.
The NASDAQ, they are up over 3.5% right now.
Yo, I am in the screen.
No, right? Do you not want to be here? Like, yo, let's, yo.
That's all I could do.
She's social distancing, guys. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, yeah.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, so this is interesting. And then crowds gather at Black Lives Matter Plaza right now. That's happening live.
Is Seattle boarded up? Are your cities boarded up?
Yes.
Downtown Seattle is boarded up.
It is?
Very much so boarded up.
Dallas has been.
Here's the thing I don't
boarded up
understand. What's the
since
point of like boarding up the city when there's no inventory even in downtown Seattle? Like
Nordstrom got some inventory.
Like what?
I saw some handbags, some purses, some shoes.
No, people.
I was just at Nordstrom.
That sounds like Cap right there.
I was just at Nordstrom. How you gonna tell me? I was just there.
You know, for a company that's going out of business. Don't tell that to Seattle natives. They don't know. They don't want to hear that. They do not want to hear like, yo, what'd you just say about Nordstrom?
Was it founded here?
Yeah.
Is it going out of business?
I didn't know that.
Really?
I'm not sipping. I'm not saying nothing.
I'm just gonna say this. You should go check out the stock JWN.
Yeah.
Let's look at it now.
We about to pull it up. We're gonna tell the story. We're gonna tell the sad story. But does it get worse after year to date?
It's ugly. It's an ugly chair.
And 5 years? Girl. You know what this looks like? This looks like Hertz. This looks like Hertz.
No.
Oh, it doesn't? Oh, okay. All right. Let's pull up Hertz.
Maybe I do a comparison.
Nope, don't need to. There's 5 years of Hertz. Just
70 cents.
Wait, now see, there's some people that are like, oh man, it's so low. Now's the time to get it. No, guys, like, it's an unhealthy company. Like,
that's an unhealthy relationship that you want to leave alone.
Toxic.
That's like somebody you walk up to them and you ask them their name and they're like, oh, boogity boog. Like, I'm sorry, what?
Man.
Like it's just, this is just a sad story. And after a while, you can't just keep paying out dividends. It's over. I'm sorry, Joanne.
I mean, you don't have to say sorry to me. I'm gonna get my little deals.
The closeout sale, like everybody's like, yo, that's gonna be the best day that they ever get their sales up on the day that they close.
I got my eyes on too many luggage.
I mean, they're an amazing family. Like they're very, generous and everything else, and it really does suck because of the fact that they just didn't know how to build. They didn't think to like about the future, and that's a sign. That's a clear and evident sign that when you think about companies, like, are they focused on the future?
What do you mean by that?
Like in the sense of how is it that we can better innovate and find ways to produce a better customer experience outside of what our legacy business model has been. If anything, you should always be looking to improve on such of a business model versus, well, if it's broke, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, it broke really fast.
Someone said Nordstrom's can go, but the rack must stay.
Right? The shoes in the Nordstrom's rack.
I'm just gonna say get it while you can, because
those discounts though.
it's over. Well, yeah, but think about it. With such discounts, think about the margins that are also gone.
That's true. I'm not thinking about the company. I'm thinking about me.
Oh,
my
okay,
wardrobe.
that's fair.
Right, my closet.
Lillie over here like, let me go find out. Let me go look this up real quick.
It's still expensive in Hawaii, so we don't get these deals. But like, who do you think is going to survive between Macy's and Nordstrom's, if any of them?
Neither.
Really?
Macy's is gone.
Really?
Formerly known as the Bon Marché.
Yeah, they should have. Their branding was. They should have stayed the Bon Marché, because once they went to Macy's, it did not fit with the West Coast vibe. Like, Macy's is not a West Coast brand. The vibe was off. They lost their identity. They didn't know, how to set up their store. Like, they just didn't have like a strong brand identity once they went to Macy's. Bon Marché, they had their identity.
And it was a dope name, Bon Marché.
Yeah, good market.
We don't have that either.
That sounds super bougie.
They made it sound real sexy.
It's just French.
Bon March? Yeah.
Yo, how's the barbecue, Antoine?
Look at that.
Yes.
And his lighting changed and everything.
It's this camera, man. Everybody else is using Macs. This damn Windows camera goes from orange to light. I don't know what it takes.
Do you have it in night mode or something like that?
No, I don't have it on anything. It just, at some point it's gonna switch to, bright again.
That's an unfortunate situation.
It is, man.
Move your camera around. See if you can better with the light.
We got to get you over to Apple so we can
But
get
I can't. No, so my work laptop is a Mac, but we can't download Zoom on it, right? Because of the whole Zoom bomb. It's a virus vector.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't put it on Google laptops.
So Idaho just lit up 92% Trump with only 144 votes versus Joe Biden's 10 votes.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's what 1% looks like.
Mm.
This is about to be really, really interesting.
Oh, gosh.
Actually,
Well, they say that the Dems won the House.
Oh yeah, it's over. Like,
oh, y'all.
I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with the Senate though, because it's like just sitting here like 43 Dems, 42 GOP. So that's interesting. Oh, it just lit up.
Okay.
Hey, West Coast coming through.
I told you it was gonna light up like Christmas, but it's interesting because we haven't heard anything from Nevada though.
You got to share your screen, Mark, please.
Oh yeah, sorry guys.
Yo, where's Che at, man?
He's eating.
Yo, I'm right here. I'm right here.
Seriously, the whole time? We're about to file a missing person
Hey.
report.
I just stepped back into the room.
You got more water.
I got
Good.
hit.
Wait, what happened to the larger bottle? It just took too long to fill.
Yeah,
Google just updated.
couldn't do it.
Google just updated. Yep. 209 to 112.
209. Okay.
Yo, this
Well,
Arizona,
West
this
Coast,
Arizona
we did our
vote.
part,
This
okay?
yeah, we did.
We did our part.
We did our
I don't know
thing.
what y'all
Like,
did.
look at this. You don't even have to even get a vote count.
Nope.
Where's the percentage on that?
There is zero. There's not. It's not even
I'm like,
necessary.
wait.
We're just gonna
Yeah,
get
like,
to
cause
it.
we caucus vote in our state, and then we also have like the absentee ballots that came through. So
And everyone out here was voting early, y'all.
44 in the Senate, by the way. Dems lead.
Alrighty. Dems
So,
have flipped one seat in the Senate. They need to gain 3 or 4 tonight to win the majority.
No, wait, now tell me, why did the House say Dems win when it's 95 to 124?
because they probably held on to a bunch, and then we're just waiting on the California, and that's probably California, Washington, the West Coast.
Blue.
It's pretty much gonna go. It's expected to just go blue,
Okay.
which is interesting.
And we already had the House. And so if these ones are just the ones that are up for re-election, but these ones probably are the ones that we already have, maybe. I don't know.
Yo, if the Dems take the Senate though,
Yeah.
I want to know. That's where we should definitely look to the futures market now. Has that changed anything?
NASDAQ went down a little bit.
It went down.
It went down a little bit.
Interesting. So I'm thinking that it's really about the Senate vote. It's really about the Senate race when it comes to like the market. So that, somebody could have been saying something about that all along.
Yeah, someone said Snoop Dogg filling in.
So I'm guessing, wait. So I need people to say the whole words. So in the House, the Dems won. In the Senate, the Dems lead.
Yep, because we've already flipped one seat.
So we're thinking that means that stimulus from the Dems will go through, like their proposal, and maybe that's why.
I think that they'll be able to rewrite the proposal and probably come in at a larger stimulus package.
I mean, still not till January. There's no guarantee that this Congress and this president, under normal circumstances, yes, they would pass whatever bills the incumbents or the new incumbents would want. But all that's out the window, man. Like Mitch McConnell said, we're not getting stimulus until January. I'm gonna go with what Mitch McConnell said. We're not getting stimulus.
Think about it though, if you still have the Democrats that flipped the Senate also, and then at the same token, we already have a Democratic House, and then on top of that, a Democratic Senate, even though that you have Mitch McConnell still there,
I mean, it's not gonna be Democratic tomorrow. That's my point.
No, but it will be Democratic on, I think they can start taking in their seats around, what is it, the 3rd or the 9th of January, which is, I think the president, he takes his office, what is it?
January 20th.
So that means that you can actually have a stimulus package, ready to go.
Yeah, but it's not passed until January, which is the point we were talking about XLY.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even play discretionary this retail season. Like, why play with fire? And so many other interesting play. The semiconductor space is really interesting.
But they also sandbagged a lot of their earnings expectations, though.
We haven't talked about agriculture. Agriculture is a big one. If Trump wins, that means China's just gonna have to back down. They're gonna buy billions of dollars more in soybeans, $1 billion more in corn, things like that. I mean, they're waiting on a Democratic win to relieve some of this pressure. So you're talking about John Deere, Caterpillar, all those guys. They're going to shoot through the roof on a Trump win, and you can see they've been trending upward these last couple of days.
Well, yeah, a lot of your industrial-based stocks have significantly. I mean, but I don't know. I think that if Joe Biden loses, if he loses the presidency, if he loses, then essentially you're going to probably see a wrecking ball hit the industrial sector, because a lot of the industrial sector has rallied up on the thoughts that Joe Biden would beat Donald Trump.
It's a balance, right? If Biden ends the trade wars, you see a win. But if Trump continues the trade wars, then you see a continuation of current policies which favor the Iwinians, and it favors, if nothing else, it favors the farmers, because they're going to continue to get government subsidies because of Trump's terrible policies and wars. And eventually China's going to have to back down because they can't sustain this level of competition with the U.S. just economically. They're gonna go broke like the Soviet Union did, and they realize that. So, there's a lot to be said in the ag space that we should take a look at. There's a lot of big names.
Futures are popping again.
But the Dow's only at 157.
That's very telling right there.
What do you think Beyond Meat's gonna do?
What, can we see its chart?
What, Beyond Meat?
Uh-huh.
Don't worry, I'll pull it up on the screen, y'all. I knew you guys would come for me. Wow.
Oh.
Yeah, it's coming back in. A lot of stocks are ultimately coming back in. Like today's rally definitely brought a lot of them back into it. But I see this area here. It's got a hold at this level here at 143, because it seems to be an area of newfound support at the 143 level.
It could bounce from here.
Yeah. But in order for that to happen, also, you're going to need to have consumer discretionary also bounce, because of the fact that Beyond Meat works with a lot of, say, for example, restaurants.
But didn't they get a contract with McDonald's and KFC?
Yeah, but McDonald's, kind of like the same thing.
We need the stimulus for that.
I mean, it bounced off this level of support. I'm probably guessing that's probably around the 100-day moving average.
Did you see Kanye on your ballot?
Did I see what?
Did you see Kanye West on your ballot?
No, I did not.
No.
He was on mine. He was on the ballot in Cali.
He was?
That's an unfortunate situation.
That really is.
It's kind of funny.
Would it be still funny if people voted for him?
Oh, no, I'm sure people did. What do you guys think about PayPal?
Still going down too.
Actually, they're popping. What do I think about PayPal?
Yeah.
Love the chart.
We were just talking about PayPal. Oof.
Was that face about PayPal?
It looked like it's about to break.
Oh.
But it's coming down to that 175 level.
No, yeah, the 176.
That's a buyer level for me.
It's on a clear decline though.
If it can hold though.
Yeah, if it can hold that support.
If it can hold that.
And look at the volume on that downturn. Look at the volume there.
Well, yeah.
That was earnings. That was earnings.
Did it have earnings today?
Yesterday or the day before.
That was the day
Oh,
before.
okay. So what did it say at earnings?
I mean,
Did it say it was doing well and then it still fell?
I think so. I think it found itself in the same category as like a lot of tech companies, where it's like it reported solid earnings, but
There's an article on Barron about it.
we'll
But
see.
look at the RSI. The RSI is very telling. So the RSI gives you like the strength indicator of a trend, and it's on a decline right now.
So they earned $1.07 per share on revenue. They earned 5 billion. Analysts expected 94 cents on revenue, 94 cents, and then revenue at 5.43. What?
Oh, she's falling asleep.
So it beat.
It beat on the top and bottom line.
So to me, I think it's okay. Look, like often,
Let's look at Square.
Often, like just like Amazon, it had great earnings, still fell. So it'll find support and come back.
At the 175.
So PayPal was a buy.
Square looks like it jumped right off of this this level back to the September 22nd. A company that I really want to pay attention to, especially going into next week, is going to be huge.
Are people gonna start buying the 12?
I think that, well, speaking of which,
My 12 Pro is upstairs.
I'm going for the 12 Pro Max.
I know.
Okay.
I wish I would have got the Max, but
Hey,
I'm
man.
gonna pull the trigger.
Hey, I tell you know what's so funny? I told you. I was like, yo,
I didn't know it was gonna feel that small in my hand though.
I don't know what to tell you, player.
But see, I'm still using my XR.
Did you have to stay in line for yours?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, they do that still, even during COVID?
I don't know. I haven't been to the store.
Jolene, don't do
I
it.
just ordered it. It
Oh.
overnighted. What?
Nothing.
It hasn't arrived.
What?
Nothing. How about this chart?
You're so
All right, let's go to some results. New data is now available.
Dims have flipped on the same thing.
Still the same thing, 44 to 43. So it seems like there's some gain. There was nothing up for grabs. So it's pretty much, it may not look like we may flip. Well, actually, it does look like we're going to flip. It looks like we're going to flip Iowa. It looks like we're going to flip Montana and Iowa. But we need two more.
Texas is done.
In this equation. And Louisiana. Jesus, there's a lot.
Electoral vote tonight?
What are they doing in Louisiana? No, why do they have 4 people running? Mississippi, Alabama. Oh, Democrat lost their seat.
Oh man.
They lost what? Alabama?
Yep. North Carolina. It's funny because Cunningham was winning. Now it's completely flipped. So okay. Well, actually, this is interesting because we got actually the Dems that may take the Senate. Just thinking about it. Looking at it, you have GOP incumbent. I think this one was just up for grabs. So if this holds, you could be seeing the Dems take it.
Well, I mean, look, we got Colorado, Arizona, New Mexico. That's huge. Iowa and Minnesota. You know.
Now this one's interesting. This one's very interesting.
Refresh.
Somebody said refresh. What is a refresh? It automatically refreshes. It's like,
Maybe they just want to see.
y'all, if you guys see up here in this top area, it automatically is always updating on its own and it'll produce the new data. So don't worry. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it. That's what.
Everyone keeps saying refresh.
Now this is where it's interesting. because we're at 209. And if these things hold, meaning 1, 2, 3, 4, wait, he flipped Maine? So remember, Antoine, Maine was actually Donald Trump.
Oh, in 2016.
That's how Susan.
No, earlier today.
I mean, but look, I mean, what we really have here is, you know, he took New Mexico, he took Colorado, took Arizona. Those are the Sun Belt states that Trump really needed. But I mean, man, why did he not carry any of the Midwest? What's going
on with Nevada?
Ohio, not Kentucky, not Michigan, not Wisconsin. Completely lost the Rust Belt. That to me is disheartening. You got a lot of Latino population down in the Sun Belt. They definitely came out to vote. That made it competitive in Texas. Not enough to take it this time. But you know, I don't think this is a strong showing for Biden. I think he's barely skirting by with the map the way it looks today. I hope the mail-in ballots.
Yeah, so we found out that a lot of the mail-in ballots are kind of like sitting in the teens right now. So like, for example, with Ohio, they said that it's about 55% of mail-in. That's 55% of the vote, and we've only counted 17% of it.
Okay.
So this could possibly change. These could probably change when we look at the states. But what's going on with Nevada?
Wait, what's going on with the color in my camera? You see how it just like flips from orange to just like
daytime.
I have no idea what you got going on over there.
I gotta get the Mark Monroe set up, man.
Hey man. Monroe Manor is always open to you.
Lillie looked like she just got a spotlight sitting behind her laptop.
Yeah, Lillie, what is your light situation like? Because I've always wanted to know. Like,
just like sitting in front of the sun.
That's really what it is.
Is it just the sun?
No, it's not. I have a light.
I was gonna say, hold on, that's a little bright.
No, I have a light for
We're
work.
over here looking up at Che's ceiling. Like, come on, Che.
Wait, you can't see me?
Seriously?
Oh,
Yeah, he violating all type of regulations right now.
You'd be kicked off the IG Live right now.
Lillie, how much sake you got over there, man?
She's like, that's none of your business.
You know what? I didn't know you can see me when you're sharing your screen.
Hold on,
I have
gotta figure out.
I have
know what
enough
I
to
did.
get through tonight.
Now we see you, Che. Like, you were in major violation. We were like looking up at your ceiling. Like,
How was you looking up at my ceiling?
because it was on the screen.
Okay. My bad. My fault, Tevo. My fault.
Yeah,
cousin.
IG Live would have been roasting you right now, bro. We would have had to kick you out.
The vision couldn't see that. All right, so the votes are in. Oh my God, these votes are.
Oh no,
what?
your face says it all.
You forgive me.
Right, you're like, "Wait, can't you see it?"
Like, she don't see us. Yeah, so that's over. I think this one is. I think we can call it. This one's over.
Arizona.
Wait, it says that the Senate is now tied.
Oh gosh,
That's big.
my nerves.
Right. I want one time where everything is the same, like all Democrat everything.
So there's two districts that are
there's no
split.
fighting. That'd just be so great.
So Maine's first district is Biden. The other one is Donald Trump. So they're both, I guess, Maine is just 2 electoral votes. So each one of these is 1. Which now, one of these states, you actually can split the electoral votes. Is that true?
I didn't know about that. Which
No, I said, is that true?
I don't know.
I must have missed.
I'm still trying to find out what's going on with Nevada right now.
Yeah, what is the deal with Nevada? Who's in Vegas?
They don't want to report
Nobody.
bad news. They're like,
Nevada's a big state. Nevada, if Nevada goes blue, that pretty much seals it. But they got no votes counted.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it says no results.
Time is it 8:20 in Nevada?
NASDAQ futures are still holding. Dow futures are starting to climb though.
Okay.
See,
I think that's good for a blue
Let me
wave.
know.
I think what we're seeing is Democrats get control of the Senate.
well, it's tied now. Oh. 12 remaining seats.
A lot of toss-ups.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 will put them at, that's 49. That's not enough for majority though.
Nope.
That's not enough for majority. One of these has got to flip. I mean, North Carolina, that one's
Nebraska. You can flip the vote.
Oh, okay.
Nebraska.
Thank you, Jared.
Michigan, we still have some of those votes that are still not. So these are all Democratic states. We also have a runoff. Oh, wow. That's going to be interesting.
That's the young woman from our quant dive earlier, right? Selling stock.
Yeah.
Trying to sell that stock so that way she can go for campaign.
She's actually an owner of a WNBA team as well. And she got some pushback for her views on Black Lives Matter. So that's a really interesting race down there in Georgia.
Huh.
So she's got some money too, though. She's the owner of a WNBA team.
Yeah, she's loaded. She's loaded.
Wow. See, okay, I still don't understand the rules. So you can be on the Senate and still trading however you want to. There's no rules.
So they don't trade. They don't often trade by their own discretion, and I think I want to point that out. A lot of times they have their cash either in a trust, or in a fund, or they have a fund advisor. I don't think they're sitting there pushing the button, right? I think that'd be a little too risky for them. But what it is a good proxy for is the smart money, because they're of course going to have their money with the best fund managers, the best traders, the best hedge funds, et cetera, et cetera. So. And whether or not they communicate something to those people, I'm sure they do, right? Wouldn't you?
I mean,
don't answer that. You might run for office.
Right.
Using live data and predictions from our election forecast, we've run 8,100 simulations showing how the remaining 13 competitive states could vote, and how the electoral math could shake out. There are 43 ways the race could end in a tie. Wow. Oh, so this is if we do it. Okay, so let's say if Biden wins Arizona. Wow.
He's not winning Florida.
So currently there's 7,400. So he wins that. We'll give that one to Trump.
George is going to Trump.
George is going to Trump.
I would say I would go
Biden.
to Trump.
I'll give Maine to Biden.
But look, just with that, right? If he takes Arizona just alone, there's only 33 ways left for Trump to win.
Right. The math isn't there. Now let's say Trump takes it. Now it comes down to 33. Pennsylvania, Trump, Ohio.
That's getting tight. And this is where it's important, right?
No. Nevada should be Biden. You think?
Well,
we
so
haven't
that's
seen it yet. I'm just running through it. So Trump wins. So now let's flip it. Let's say that Biden takes Minnesota.
Doesn't change much.
Biden takes New Hampshire or Nevada. Let's say that he takes Ohio.
Negative.
Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is the big guy here.
He wins.
Oh wow.
Pennsylvania.
So even if he loses Ohio, he still wins.
Yeah.
If he has to.
If he wins Pennsylvania and Nevada, he wins.
If he loses, let's say, nope.
It's tight, man. This is anybody's race. But I think he's going to win North Carolina. So give North Carolina to Biden.
You think so?
The
I
Biden?
think isn't he ahead in North Carolina right now?
No, he's down in North Carolina with 90.
Oh, I thought he was up in North Carolina.
No, it's right here. So,
and he's getting destroyed in Pennsylvania right now.
But that's because also the mail-in
49% and the mail-ins.
Yeah. You know, they say 60% of the votes were mail-in. So, I mean, I don't know how much of the vote we even have tonight. That's the other component of this.
And wasn't Trump telling people to vote twice? Mail it in and then also go?
He was.
GOP now leads the Senate.
He also told him to inject bleach, which would have significantly decreased his voter base. So.
And the futures.
Futures market says, I mean, it's pretty much holding steady.
Hmm.
Holding steady. Where things stand, total vote counts 104 million votes. That's the crazy part. 104 million votes counted. And there's, what is it, 366 million people in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Now, of course, a vast portion of them are like children, so we have to take that into consideration. Percent of vote, 2016 vote is 76.4%. So we're closing in.
The cousins are saying North Carolina could flip on the mail-in.
Okay, so let's just say it goes to, and then let's say that he loses Pennsylvania, but then he has to win one of those two then.
Yeah, he has to get either Pennsylvania or Ohio. That's what it comes down to.
Isn't he from Pennsylvania?
He's from Pennsylvania, which is why they made Biden the candidate, because you gotta win Pennsylvania.
It ain't looking good right now.
That's what I'm saying.
I honestly think 60% of the Pennsylvania votes are mail-in. I really do.
Well, we're at 50%. So
no, I thought they weren't going to count the mail-ins tonight.
Why not? Oh, new data.
Are they counting them?
I don't trust ABC.
I'm still on Google.
I mean, same thing, y'all.
True. Some of the numbers are just different. Like I got 209, 118.
Yeah, I got 209.
I think it's also counting into the fact of the votes here in Maine. They're split, and you can split votes here.
Oh, in those states.
Yeah. I mean, mail-ins because he's getting killed right now on day of. It's a little bit closer in Florida, but all the votes are in.
In Florida?
Yeah.
They say Biden is from Delaware. He just lives.
He's from Scranton, Pennsylvania.
They call New Mexico.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, they call New Mexico. They call Colorado.
They're about to call Arizona.
What about?
We're still waiting on Nevada.
Yeah, what is up with Nevada?
Does it matter if we have Minnesota or not?
Yeah, I think Minnesota matters.
Minnesota matters.
Okay.
That's 10 votes.
Yeah.
If Biden takes Nevada and Minnesota tonight, I think that's pretty much what he needs.
Because say, for example, it's still Trump wins. And do we know that Michigan has been called? I mean,
I don't think
47% of the vote, so.
I don't think Michigan's getting called tonight.
Is Georgia called? 70% of the vote. Yo,
Carolina's close.
That's a huge spread.
That is huge. And then North Carolina.
North Carolina's close.
It's close. We're still waiting on Nevada, though. Nothing has been called in Nevada.
Nevada, we'll see y'all tomorrow. We tired.
Right.
We'll say in the morning.
What about Alaska? Does it matter?
Alaska's vote still hasn't come through yet.
That's 3 votes.
And then Hawaii.
You got 4.
And let's see. Notice they didn't even allow us to even select those. That's crazy. They're saying that those are insignificant. These are the states that matter.
They must have the most electoral.
Yeah.
Jersey votes to
Let's just say that let's just say that Biden takes it, then Biden wins the election. If he takes Pennsylvania, then he wins the election. That's with him losing Ohio.
So that's like no matter what.
But we also have to take away North Carolina.
Okay.
So it's gonna be tight, but it's coming down to these. Like it's
Pennsylvania, Ohio.
only 2 ways to win.
Do it.
Right. Oh man.
What is it? What 2?
Ohio and Pennsylvania.
What's the spread on them again?
Pennsylvania is now at 41.7. It's not looking good because that's 51% vote in.
Yeah.
Ohio's at 94%.
It's gonna come down to Pennsylvania, y'all. He ain't winning Ohio.
Better.
Oh yeah, Ohio's looking official.
They both kind of looking official.
Let's see.
It's like all red.
That's wild.
Let's see.
That's way on Nevada. Says,
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
They say that Joe Biden is leading in Nevada, but they just haven't reported it yet. Yeah. But they also said President Trump has fought hard to flip Nevada, which he narrowly lost in 2016.
Yeah, like it's not looking good.
Oh wait,
In
no,
Ohio.
Pennsylvania already said they aren't reporting tonight.
Yeah.
Who said that?
Pennsylvania.
Well, New Jersey just voted to legalize recreational marijuana. So we were talking about cannabis stocks earlier. I think this is gonna be a good night for cannabis.
Okay.
Okay.
So that 17 cents meant something to somebody.
17.6 for someone,
They really felt that.
especially after they just dropped 2.2%.
Come on, Senate.
Oh wait, what is this thing? Political predicts for 212 remaining electoral votes. So
It's getting thinner. That margin is getting thinner, man.
but it's still holding over the 270 line though. That's the crazy
Right.
part.
Man, I remember going to sleep this time 4 years ago and waking up.
Man.
Hey, waking up
My phone
shocked.
was ringing off the hook, and I'll just look up and I'll look on my phone. I'm like, what the fuck happened? I'm turning.
I think
my phone
he's gonna take Maine. I think he's gonna take Maine. I think we can just call it for he lost Iowa.
Oh, he did?
Did they call it?
Not officially,
Well, it just moved up to 117.
Oh,
Or
really?
moved down to 117. What's that all about? Wasn't it at 119, 118?
I thought it was at 119 or something.
He's still at 118 on Google.
Someone said that USPS lost 300,000 ballots.
And where?
It doesn't say.
Still nothing from Nevada.
Someone said, I'm going to brunch. Peace out.
Yeah.
I don't know where they are.
You must be in the UK. Somewhere with some daytime.
Where is the data upload? You know, I wish they gave us like more information of where is it updating at. He's at a solid 56% in Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's done.
No, that's at 51% though.
Of the vote. We still have mail-ins. The Dems are counting them mail-ins.
That's crazy. That's his hometown or home state.
Wait, but it just have to be postmarked today? So like literally someone could still be
I don't know what their cutoff is for absentee
Like-
ballots.
Somebody told us to look at CNN.
Somebody said, look at CNN.
Yeah. I'm on MSNBC right now.
Ugh. Try to go somewhere
Man,
neutral.
this is too much stress for me.
Yeah, CNN hasn't even updated.
they have
Yeah.
that one too.
Yeah, so who's leading? Wait, what?
What just happened?
Am I missing something?
What's up?
I thought Iowa was red.
I thought the same thing.
They haven't called
Next
Iowa
update.
yet.
Okay,
It's
next
at
update in 4,
78%.
3, 2. What?
Are you on Iowa?
I'm on Idaho.
Oh, okay. He won Idaho. Wait, no, he didn't.
See, now they're just late.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like they're about to call Minnesota, which is good.
What's Fox saying?
Mark.
Yo, man. 223 to 148.
Man, we only need 50 more.
They called Florida already on Fox's map.
Yeah. We need 50 more. That's gonna have to come through Pennsylvania. We gotta get Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and this is split. They're saying, but I don't see. I guess they're splitting electoral votes here.
I guess in Nebraska.
So I guess he takes what is that? 3 votes. Biden takes 2.
Someone's like,
It's going to come down to Pennsylvania.
Texas is 38 votes.
Pennsylvania. Please. MI.
Let's see.
Wisconsin, Arizona, North Carolina.
Hey squad, I gotta call it tonight. I don't want to stay up and raise my blood pressure with you guys on the way.
I think we're all about to call it too.
yeah.
Yo.
So we're gonna leave it here, y'all, because honestly, this could go throughout the entire night. So y'all continue to keep watching, of course. I mean, we'll probably be watching it here in our own home. But thank you for rocking with us. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We watched the market. So just as a heads up, as a quick recap, NASDAQ futures are pretty much up 3%. Dow futures are up still a little bit over 0.5%. S&P futures are up a little bit shy of 1.5%. Russell futures are they're just there. So looking at it, it seems like based on if everything holds the way it does, and we don't know what the numbers will look like until tomorrow, like you. But it looks like come market open, we may be seeing a pop in the stock market. But of course, things are always subject to change within this wild ride of futures. But thank you for rocking with us. Have a wonderful evening. We got to get some rest, but I probably may be on Clubhouse. Maybe Antoine will show up on Clubhouse, and maybe Teri, you never know.
I'm still waiting on that invite from Lillie. We'll see.
Antoine, I need to get you an iPhone first. That's gonna be my hurdle. We'll find a way. Mark, can I add something?
What's that?
Ebony is really, really grateful. She's doing a lot of ugly crying, but she's so touched and humbled and feeling all the love. So she says thank you to everyone.
We love you too, Ebony. Thank you so much, everybody, for rocking with us. For everybody that dropped capital in the super chats, thank you. We'll definitely try to get that out to Ebony as soon as possible. And of course, I get to match these lovely numbers as well. Until next time, I'm Mark Monroe.
Go ahead, Jay.
Jay Davis Division.
Antoine.
Your favorite cousin's favorite cousin.
Me?
Mhm.
Oh. Teri Uchioma. You can find me at I'm an Investor on Instagram.
Lillie.
I am Lillie Techie at Habesha Investor.
Tevo.
He already said it.
I didn't hear him. Say it again, Tevo.
Hey, you
Go,
know,
go on.
favorite cousin's favorite cousin. Y'all know me, man. Y'all know where to find me.
Oh, doing the most.
Oh, I guess
All right, I'm Jolene GC in the place to be.
And this was Straight Talk Tuesday. Have a wonderful evening and stay safe.